Fighters live by a code, but for most, the code of the fighter must be earned. Things like victory and honor, just to name a few. The only way to earn these is to simply fight, to put on your gloves of armor and step foot into the modern day Colosseum. Tonight, two men will once again look to earn their honor from one another. First, we go to PrimeTime, a man who holds the record for the longest win streak in League's history. BFAP Trixie, the once decorated champion who has fallen upon hard times and has lost some key fights, but now Trixie is rejuvenated. He steps into the cage with the mindset of a lion that is simply to maul his opponent. He is a man whose relentless wrestling and overwhelming pressure can shake an opponent's confidence and have them beat from the opening bell. But what happens when you fight someone who's comfortable fighting off the back foot? Enter KM Caliber, a man who has spent years perfecting his martial arts, a man who can paint a picture of a fight with a single stroke of the brush, a Picasso, the modern day MMA. KM Caliber is ready to do battle once again. He's on the cusp of a title shot. He just needs to keep putting them wins together, and who knows where he can go. The sky's the limit for the Kingsman, and he is just getting started. With all that being said, strap in, prepare yourself for a wild night's fight, and tonight we'll leave no question to who is the best. Welcome to PrimeTime.
What is going on, you beautiful bunch of savages? I am your host, Cyrus the Looney, and this is PrimeTime 55. In the booth this evening, as always on these amazing Saturday events that we are running, is going to be the one and only Mr. Humbledink and J-Dime TV. How you doing, lads? Hyped as always, I'm sure, ahead of this amazing card.
Oh, definitely hype, Cyrus. PrimeTime 55 is about to begin. Trixie versus Caliber is our main event this evening. It's going to be a fantastic main event, J-Dime. And we've got some beautiful fights on the card as well. Leon Stolz versus Ripe MMA. 4-0 versus 4-0, J-Dime. You know someone's always got to go in that one.
That's the fight I've been looking forward to. Because like you said, someone has got to go. When it's two undefeated fighters, usually there's someone in there that's scared to lose. There's a difference between fighting to lose and being scared to lose. And someone's has got to go, Humble.
Yeah.
Well, as you said, an amazing main event, amazing co-main event to follow, to precede that as well. But top to bottom, lads, as always, the Primetime guarantee is going to be on full display here this evening. These guys are going to be stepping forward into the octagon, leaving it all out there until the very, very last bell. And we're not going to go through each and every fight because I think that a lot of these fighters do, their names kind of do the talking for them. We've seen them around the scene, and they're kind of ready and biting at the action. Up first, of course, we have got TMF Rara up against Prodigy. These guys are going to be fighting down in the bantamweight division here, Mr. Humbledink. It's a fun old weight class to fight in, of course. These guys are going to have a lot of flexibility, even though they're limited to 4-star picks. Obviously, it's one of the more diverse weight classes to be able to do that in.
Yeah, it definitely is. And, you've got a lot of choice in that division, the Song Yudong type of picks. There's picks like Cub Swanson as well, Cyrus, as we like to know, that we seen one yesterday and we seen him do quite well. But we just need to point out some of the records of these guys, because Rara at the moment hasn't had the best of starts of the season, even though he's been growing as a commentator, J-Dime. He's currently 1-8 in prime time. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this season has been rough for Rara. Last season he was a contender. So bearing in mind that now he's 1-8, that I don't know what's going on with Rob, but he needs to pick up some steam. He needs to get some wins under his belt.
Yeah, honestly, just to throw this to you as well, Jay, no, you probably aren't aware, he has actually been in this position before. He was a contender last season, but the season prior, he had gone on a 6-fight losing skid at one point, started to kind of fall into, obviously, the unaired portion of the card, but he made a massive rally as of last season, and although he's had some adversity, he's shown in the past that he is the type of fighter that's able to take those losses in his stride and learn from them, make the adjustments, and that's going to be key here this evening as he gets taken down nice and early, Jay.
Yeah, and then you said that he went from a contender to being 1-8. What do y'all think it is? Like, what do you think changed? Do you think the competition got better, or is it something that he's not doing on his part, guys?
Well, I think it's consistency. Maybe you've all them times when you're playing ranked match and you kind of lose to back. It might just be a mental block. It might be something, but he needs to kind of overcome that. He needs to show that he can kind of do that and get his confidence. Every fight's a different fight, Cyrus. You can't go into each fight expecting to lose.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously there is a certain amount of kind of mental damage that can happen when you've gone on a bit of a skid like that, right? Because bouncing back is absolutely vital, and sometimes it's important to take time and make adjustments to your game, and that's what we've seen in the past. This has been a pretty short turnaround, so there hasn't been a great amount of time there, Jay, but right now, early on, we're seeing that AJS Rara is doing... Oh, AJS, sorry, TMF Rara is doing very, very well when he gets the fight to the mat. He's obviously that's where his bread and butter has been in the past, but with a pick like Cody Garbrandt, he's going to have the opportunity to throw some hands on the feet as well if they find themselves there. But looks like more and more of the same here in this first round from Cody.
Yeah, it looks like he can just control it here. It looks like this is where Marlon Moraes don't want to be, because y'all remember when he fought Marab? What happened after he had that storm? Do y'all remember? He ended up stuck on his back for the rest of the fight, damn near, Humble.
Yeah, I think it was partially due to the fact that he'd overexerted himself trying to finish.
Yeah, he put everything into it, yeah.
Yeah, he did. I think the ref was very close to stopping that. He's very unlucky, to be honest. Moraes as a he's the guy who knocked out Sterling as well. And let's not forget that with that beautiful head kick.
Yeah.
He's got 98 kick power, I believe, on this game. So really, really good kicking game. But I don't like his build. Cyrus is one of them characters who I struggle kind of using because of that build. Similar to Aldo, but doesn't quite feel the same.
Yeah, I think he obviously being so explosive comes with the trade-off of generally not having a fantastic kind of gas tank, but he's doing pretty well in terms of cardio so far, although finding himself in a lot of positions like this here, Jay, where they're just not favourable to him. They're not favourable on the mat when a lot of time kind of starting to stack up for Cody.
It sounds weird, but he got to stand it up with Cody. He got to find a way back to his feet. That sounds so backwards, but he has to find a way, Humble.
He definitely does, because at the moment he's getting controlled on the ground. He's about to go for a reversal. 15 seconds left doesn't mean too much.
Yeah.
But currently Rara's got to be kind of pleased with his output. He's had some takedowns. He's mixed his fight up really well. The damage side, though, looks like it's kind of swaying in Rice's favour, Cyrus. So very close round. I wouldn't be happy if I was either guy, to be honest.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that, obviously, at the very, very beginning, Prodigy was looking pretty good. He got some nice shots off, got the hip toss, relatively quickly, that judo throw, putting Garbrandt down, but decided to separate, and I think that gave Rara a little bit of confidence and allowed him to start to employ his game. But you're absolutely right. In terms of damage, and mainly one of the things I'm not noticing is that Moraes kind of uncharacteristically has a better stamina here, J-Dime. That's kind of the key to me, is how that plays out over the next round or two, because there's a lot of time to play if your stamina starts to get kind of destroyed by your opponent.
Yeah, if Cody's stamina goes down more, it may be a different fight. Because I think Cody is the pacey fighting at the wrestling. He's tiring himself out a little bit, but he's also dominating the fight. So it's really a gift and a curse right now.
Oh, the controller's died, and this is it. Rara's going 1-9 in the Division Prodigies.
Can you imagine? Oh, bro, he's woken up. The shots that he needed to get him throwing again. We'll have to see if that's angered Rara Rasputin and has an impact. He seems to be landing some good damage at the minute there, Jay.
And we've seen this happen before. When someone controller dies and they get some shots in. I think he may have got Cody mad, but we'll see.
He's actually doing pretty well right here, Humble. Landing a couple of good shots with some knees, a couple of missed shots from Moraes, and then he countered with some straights. That was a good leg kick right there, though, from Prodigy.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Prodigy was kind of being nice to him in that whole exchange. But, he did get some good shots off and kind of peppered his head a bit, but there's bigger combinations he could have went for right there. Kind of led him back into the fight, and Rara's come out swinging. And you know what I noticed Rara's fighting like Rara, right? He's fighting with the takedowns. He's doing it. He's not using the character.
He's stunned right now.
That's
He's stunned right now. Cody chin. Just like that, Cody chinned and went down.
I mean, he took 8 unanswered blows to the head and he go down, and he took 2 there and went down. Yeah. So, he started trading with his opponent and stopped mixing it up J-Time.
Don't worry, he said, I'll put it back to the mat. But the problem is, Cody's stamina is fucked right now. Both of their stamina's not good, but Cody's stamina specifically is fucked right now, Cyrus.
Yeah, labor-intensive style has been this grappling kind of that he's been going for, and he gets reversed. That's the problem with the low stamina here, Humble, is it puts you in some really bad situations, especially when you overextend, and now Prodigy's trying to rain down some bombs, bro.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's a close round. Obviously, I think that it's definitely gone in the favour of Moraes so far. He's got 1 minute and 15 seconds to work. The first round was very close, and in a close round, right there.
He's got submissions on his resume, bro.
Hold on. Wait. I don't think he could get this, but he could waste some time, though. He could waste some time.
But he's going for the Kimura sweep, so hopefully if he can get on top, maybe
Yeah.
he might be able to sweep him.
I ain't ruling him out yet. I ain't ruling it out yet. It looks like he might escape, but this is where it gets really, really tight. The bar starts going up a little bit more quickly, and the blue bar may overtake it. It is gonna be close.
Hold on. It's close. I think he's gonna get out.
You're right. He's gonna get out. He's gonna get out. It was close, though. It wasn't too bad.
It was close.
Yeah,
It was close.
he didn't have the hand extended to the back. He needed to put it towards the spine, and instead it was kind of by the side. He needed to get that hand close to the back and push it right up towards his head.
I will say one thing, though, that kind of big exchange, I suppose, towards the latter end of that round has actually left Marlon Moraes in a position where his stamina was equal heading into this one. We'll have to see the recovery windows, and Moraes actually having the better of the two, Jay, and that's interesting. I'm pretty sure Cody's going to have a better recovery stat, but Moraes looking clean today, obviously managing himself very, very well in terms of his energy levels.
Yeah, and you know what also helps him right now? Cody head health maybe a little low from the free shots he took. Because remember this, protect yourself at all times. And Cody was not doing that there.
I was daydreaming for a second right there. You know, Floyd Merver would say you take them shots when you get them. You know, it's a high risk fight, high reward. I know we are in a league and these guys might be friends of each other, but one guy's 1-8 and the other guy's 0-1. They need a win. It means it should mean more to these guys than some of the guys at the top, because if you're losing to those guys, you know, it's absolutely fine. But you need to win these fights. You need to win these fights to push yourself up. And Rara at the moment, taking his opponent down, changing the strategy. He needs to stay on top, Cyrus.
Yeah, and you know, ultimately, you know, in situations like this, you can be fighting for your position onto live cards. Period, right? I mean, obviously, Rara has a long history within the league, and he's had a number of opportunities, you know, to fight on live cards. And obviously, being 0-1 isn't fantastic either. We know that these guys are both pretty good competitors all round, and thus they find themselves giving another opportunity, and they're looking to take it with both hands, Jay. I mean, you can see them battling for every inch here.
Yeah, this is a hell of a fight right now. And I'm worried about Cody's stamina, like I said.
Yeah, there's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. But he keeps getting the issue is Marlon Moraes pinned him against that fence. You can see him cutting off the cage. He's stepping across that lead foot. He's getting him to back up against that fence, and that's where he's throwing a 4-piece. That's where he's throwing a 3-piece. He's in front of it in open space. Beautiful work right there.
Cody sleep. Just like that, the fight can change. The first round is like Cody was dominating. Now we fast forward to the third. He sleep. The fight's over.
Unfortunate for TMF. Rara not able to break the losing streak at the moment. Sure, he will have to go back to the lab with the boys from TMF and really kind of sharpen those skills a little bit, iron out some of the inconsistencies. But Marlon Moraes now, Prodigy, going 1-on-1, beating a veteran that's on a bit of a skid. It's going to be, you know, a good win for him, but we'll have to see where he goes in future here, Humble, because obviously upwards and onwards, especially as you get towards that even keel record, and obviously positive, the toughs are going to get the fights, are going to get tougher and tougher as this continues.
Yeah. And it can just show you as well about the betting lines. At the moment, Rara with 79%. There was a lot of money bet on this fight already for the first fight. 19,007K was on Rara, and Prodigy. Sorry, 700 was on Rara, and Prodigy had 5.3K on him. You know, 21% of people bet on Prodigy, and even though Rara was on that skid, and we'd even mentioned it, people still believed in Rara. They know he's got the ability, but I'm not quite sure what's going on with the performances at the moment. But he needs to do something in the future, because obviously he's currently 1-8, Cyrus. Now I think he's 1-8 now, yeah, and that's not where you want to be in the league.
Yeah, I think
1-9.
He needs to take a little bit of time away, of course, work with his guys in the lab. I always used to say a little, thing about Rara when he was on a bit of a skid, which was that he needs to go back to the mountains, come back looking a little healthy, and that's what he's done in the past. When he takes a week or two away, kind of nobody hears from him. He's quite clearly doing his own thing, right? And that's often when he makes his biggest adjustments. And I think that may be where he is at the moment, because obviously there's a mental side to taking a number of losses here, Jay. And I think that taking a little bit of time away, recentering, refocusing on what makes you and what makes you excel at this game, could play dividends to him.
Yeah, I just feel for him, because what is he now? 1-8, 1-9,
1-9, yeah.
1-9,
yeah.
That hurts me, because he was fighting well in the beginning of the fight too. And like you said, he need to just regroup, you know what I'm saying? Go in the lab, just focus on himself, take some time off, because that would hurt me if I was him, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. And out of I don't want to kick him when he's down, but we have to state facts. Out of the 116 competitors that we have on the Xbox side. Before this fight, he was 116th. So he was already the bottom. He was the lowest he could get, and now he's gonna go 1-9. So he needs to revamp, because that's not rah Cyrus. Cyrus, he's a lot better than that, and he knows it. Do you know what I felt like I watched right there? I felt like I watched Cody Garbrandt. It was a mental block. It wasn't quite there, and he didn't manage to form. And I think the controller dying didn't help. He was actually in control of that fight until that point.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that, once again, and I have a lot of faith in his ability to bounce back and, kind of go into that. I know that it's been a long skid, but like I said, it's just that maybe this would be in the loss that needed to shake things up a little bit. There's going to be positives to take from it, of course, negatives. And talking about positives, obviously, Prodigy getting the W in that way as well. Yeah. Obviously, not to talk too much on Rara. Prodigy, obviously, that's a big win for him. Puts him even now. Very, very good spot going forward. But I think that with all of that being said and done, that was an excellent way to kick off the card with two guys that were on losing records to be able to put on one hell of a war like that. Obviously, more of a testament to their overall skills than their records may have indicated. But up next are two guys that I am highly anticipating myself. A good friend from a long time in Stepwise Bird representing Texas here this evening. He is going to be taking on Lilo in the lightweight division. I have a little bit of a glimpse ahead at this one, and it appears we are going to be seeing between these two guys, Josh Emmett and Jorge Masvidal in lightweight. So that should make for an interesting one, Humble.
Welterweight versus a bantamweight, very interesting. Like, if I'm Stepwise at the moment, you've got to be confident in being able to close the distance with your reach, because if you're going to go Josh Emmett and you're fighting a Jorge Masvidal, he's definitely going to have the reach advantage. You can already see one of his arms looks like the size of one of his legs, so he's got to be there. But I tell you something, J Diamond, Masvidal's got a big head for Josh Emmett to hit.
That's a big target too. That's what that means. Big head. That's a big fucking target. Yep. But Jorge, you got to worry about Jorge's body kick, and you got to worry about that boxing. So like that's a tricky person to go against, Cyrus. What would you do if you was Josh Emmett?
He takes him down, bro. Blast an overhand, right? Overhand into a double leg, and I think that's honestly something that we'll see out of Stepwise. He's a guy that traditionally used to fight a lot on the feet, but quite honestly, take big spats in and out of playing the game. And when he's back into it, I've noticed he's been putting in some work in terms of the grappling and his submission game. Been training jiu-jitsu in real life and looking to levy some of that experience onto UFC 4 here this evening.
Yeah, definitely. And the betting lines are now open. They've got a minute left to get your bets in at the moment. Nearly 7K already played down. But it looks like Masvidal's took the center of the octagon.
Pressure. One
thing I'm going to notice, Cyrus, I'm going to note really quickly as well. Don't bout your opponent. I know it sounds stupid, but if you bout your opponent, you give up space. Space is important, especially if you're fighting somebody who's a pressure fighter. You've got to be aware of your space, aware of your surroundings. I know it's courtesy to bow to your opponent, but if you do that to me, I'm taking that center of the octagon and I'm taking advantage of your mishap and not thinking about it.
Oh, honestly, you got to earn that bow, is what it ultimately comes to, right? You can get into the third round, maybe give it a bow, but in this first round, it's all action, and that is exactly what we are seeing out of Tone here this evening. TFA Tone was in the chat saying that this is actually his first time on a card, I believe, on a live card. So we'll have to see how he goes to this. He's looking very good at the moment. Obviously, finds himself now on his back, and this is in Stepwise's world. Obviously, been putting a lot of work in, and he's going to go very, very active. Stepwise is not a guy that is opposed to maybe giving up a little bit of position or, kind of getting stood back up, because he's more than confident that he will get it back to the ground and continue to do this work here, Humble, with his hands. And obviously that ultimately will set up the submissions if they present later on as well.
Yeah, definitely. And he's got to be careful there, Tone, because he did a lot there when he was getting struck. He started moving quite a lot, and sometimes less is more. These sort of competitors who lay on top of you and try and get some ground and pound off. Oh, he goes to the big get up and gets it right there. I was about to say, sometimes it's best not to be so obvious and kind of move. You kind of have to pick your opportunities. But he gets back to his feet right now, and we'll see if he can kind of continue and rally on, J-Dime.
Yeah, and if I was Josh Emmett, I'd be really confident. I was able to hold him there for a while. I didn't expect him to use the up get up. I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect him to go up. I think that actually worked in his favor, because I don't think Jorge expected that either.
I have to say right now, Jorge, in terms of his boxing alone, here, Humble, has looked absolutely fantastic. Some nice movement from Stepwise, but the takedown defense just absolutely crispy clean in that attempt right there. And He seems to be just going back to the well with his boxing, and it's so accurate that it's causing his opponent a lot of problems right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of nerves right now. You can kind of tell between both guys, but they're starting to fire home and starting to land the shots that they need to. I can see that Tony's starting to hit the mark quite a lot more, especially with his straight attacks. You know your opponent's game plan now is going to try to put you on your butt, and you've got the reach advantage. You've got to use that to your advantage. Maybe hit the body sometimes, but keeping your opponent at the arm's length, J-Dime, that's the key.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself. And I think Tone is starting to find his range. I think he was nervous because it was his first time on a live card. His palms were a little sweaty, but now he's starting to settle down a lot more now, Cyrus.
Yeah, he was very aggressive in the opening go, and he was actually having some success, but I think this is already a much calmer version of himself coming towards the end of that 5-minute round. And I think that was vital, Humble, because of the fact that Josh Emmett, Stepwise Bird, representing Texas, actually started coming alive with the pressure. He was doing a good job of starting to land a lot of those shots and get his opponent to at least be biting to that forward momentum and overall offense, but then the calmness seemed to set in, and that may be the separating factor if he's able to keep it up and avoid some of the bigger shots.
Yeah, definitely. Like, they both had success, right? They had success on the ground and he had success on the feet. Like I said, center of the octagon straight away for Tone, and he's doing a good job of trying to push Josh Emmett back, landing on the block or not, and stepwise going for a takedown there, not set up correctly. Big power from Josh Emmett. Comes in. Tone needs to guard himself right now. This could be his first fight, but it could also be his first loss right now, and gets the head, pulls him into the guard, J-Time.
Man, I'm not going to lie. Usually when people stun you, sometimes people tend to get caught walking backwards. That's when they get hit with they get hit with that head kick. And now Josh Emmett is where he want to be. He got momentum in the second round. If you're Jorge, I would say don't panic, but he's probably panicking right now.
Honestly, and just to add to that, you always talk about momentum, Jay, and rightly so. And I have to say, the Stepwise Bird in particular is a momentum fighter. He will take this and run all the way home. It will give him so much confidence. And I can tell you, being in parties with this guy, seeing him fight and the way that he likes to do it, if he was in a party with this guy now, he'd be talking a little bit of trash. He's a very charismatic guy and looks to get the job done inside and outside of the octagon. But his opponent's able to survive here, Humble, and get back to his feet, which is a lot of confidence for himself as well. That was a lot of issues presented to him.
Yeah, definitely. And Tone's, you can see Tone's kind of throwing a lot out there at the moment. Bit of anxiousness, and he's going to get taken down again into side control. Good timing there from Stepwise. I do believe some of his takedown attempts so far haven't been on point, but that one there was beautifully timed. He gets into side control, and now in a dominant position. It could be over for Tone.
I think he's barely surviving. This is not where he wants to be. Right now, Josh Emmett is licking his fingers right now because this is where he want to be. Reversal. Jorge, never mind. Jorge, make me eat my words, Jorge.
Now he's on top. Is he going to get some ground and pound of his own off, or is he going to try and stand back up? This is the problem with being obvious. You got to not be obvious as well, Cyrus. If you really want to get back to your feet, you are in a top position. You could try to calm the nerves down a bit. You might have lost this round, but making sure your opponent doesn't do any more damage, and you come out the next one firing with good stamina is key.
Yeah, I mean, having the ability to completely shake off the fact that your opponent was doing good work in top and know that when you're on top, you're able to do the same thing, Jay. And that's exactly what we're seeing out of TFA Tone. He's doing a fantastic job at the moment of trying to answer back with Stepwise and saying, hey, when it hits the mat, I'm willing to bang as well.
Yeah, he was putting some shots onto Josh Emmett bald head, and I was feeling them shots.
They seem to be struggling, but they're back to the feet now, Humble, and it looks active as once again Jorge gets a big rock.
Oh, wow. Nice work right there. And he's got him. It's the positioning, right? It's the positioning of Masvidal at the moment. He's control. Beautiful combination. Catches him. Going to go for the ground and pound. And
This is over.
Cannot get out of there. It is the first fight in an esports competition for Tone, and it is his first win, Cyrus. The jubilation, the excitement, the feeling of gratitude, it's all coming to him right now.
God damn. That was a good performance, man. Like I said, Stepwise has been around for a while. I mentioned that he's a momentum fighter, and he was doing so well until he wasn't, Jay. Ultimately, Tone was able to be very, very consistent in terms of his approach to the fight once he was able to settle in at the end of that first round. And I think that's what got him the win, is he just kept it incredibly fundamental, used very good boxing, some defense in terms of some of the takedowns and stuff like that. And ultimately, that straight into the lead hook that caught Emmett was picture perfect, man, just absolutely on the button.
Man, it looked like Josh Emmett was doing good. He was in his bag too. Remember, I said a second ago he was licking his fingers. But like we say, it's a game of momentum. Jorge took the momentum and ultimately took the game. Good win for Jorge.
I'll control them nerves, right? It's like you're fighting your first fight in any sort of esports league with any commentary over the top of it. It is nervous. It is nerve-wracking. You want to do well. You know, you don't want to go into it the first loss, especially if you want to be known amongst the community. And he does a good job there, Tone, of dealing with those nerves, coming back after some adversity. Really important. Cyrus had some adversity as well. Could have been finished from Mount a few times right there.
Yeah, definitely so, brother, definitely so. And that kind of speaks testament to, obviously, his abilities as a whole. I think that was a fantastic performance from him. Started out very good, obviously had some adversity, but, ultimately, when you learn the most about these fighters is when they're suffering a little bit of adversity, Jay, because if somebody's going out there and just steamrolling somebody, of course, you know that they're skilled, but you don't know how they handle adversity and how they can, just kind of adjust to when somebody's able to switch it up on them. And that's what we were able to see in that fight. He had an opponent that was very game. It was an even fight. Got put in a lot of bad positions, but ultimately had the muster to turn it around and get his hand raised.
Yeah, bro. And for real, I always say, you never know how good someone is until they face adversity. And Tone did a great job in adversity, because certain points of the match, it looked like he was done. But he fought his way back and found a way to win. That's how you know how good someone really is, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely do. And, it's early in the cards at the moment. It's when you've got these fighters who are not or coming in, making their debuts and stuff like that as well. You're going to see some of those nerves. But as we move up these cards, we're going to see more and more experienced fighters going to be going at it. And the next fight we've got, I believe, is going to be in the welterweight division, Cyrus, and it's going to be Steele versus, is it Jackson?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, Jackson, I believe the X is, Jackson UFC up against L_Steele. This is on the PlayStation side of Primetime MMA. It is in welterweight, and I believe we are about to see a Darren Till up against Jorge Masvidal. So Jorge Masvidal bouncing back after that one, hot after that victory, stepping into the cage once again, Jay, but now finding himself up against an incredibly game Darren Till, who has the kickboxing, to be admired, man. He's got some lovely, clean striking.
Yeah, Darren Till, people forget how good he was. He still is good. His striking is good. It just seems like he always comes short. Like, it's always something missing. Like, all those losses, the Robert Whittaker losses, all of them are really close losses and could have easily went the other way. So, like, hopefully this fight, he overcomes the hump against someone who beat him before in Jorge Masvidal.
Well, I think he kind of knows what it is, and I think that's the reason he's kind of moved to the Swedish camp with Khamzat Chimaev. And he said it in one of the Block Asset podcasts. He said some men want to win, and some men need to win. And Khamzat Chimaev is one of the men that needs to win. He needs to win every single fight, whereas Darren Till has felt for a long time like he's wanted to win, and he needs to kind of change that mentality to you have to want it. You can't just need to, so you have to need it. You can't just want it. You've got to put yourself out there, and you've got to really sacrifice some stuff for it, and that's exactly what he's got to do.
Yeah, and ultimately, right, you've got to put yourself out of that comfort zone in order to kind of test yourself and make the necessary kind of reads and adjustments that are needed to elevate your game. These guys starting out in a bit of a crazy way here, though, Jay. A few missed shots, but large amounts of power being delivered or at least thrown by every single one of these shots from these guys. God damn.
They're throwing big shots. Do they got something against each other? They're over swinging like this is bitter rival. Like, do they know each other?
Well, I don't know if you watched that first round in the I think it was London that these two had the actual fight, but there was 2 knockdowns, and I think there was a rock as well in that first fight where Masvidal ends up stunning him, and he was coming out again, and great work right there from Steele as he catches his opponent. Kind of backs up, doesn't try to set them big shots up right there, Cyrus, and that's where the whiffs are coming. No setups for the huge shots that are coming, highly vulnerable.
Yeah, overhand, spin kicks the lot. There's not a jab in sight. There is just big shots coming every which way here, and it's going to set up for a big, easy counter, Jay. I mean, just one pull counter, one slip, and lights are going to be out.
Yeah, one of them have to play the patient game and counter, because Jorge done threw hook in a row. Thank you, pull counter. You got to play the patient game if you're Darren Till. Did you see these big shots he's throwing?
Yeah, and you don't even have to do that as well. You can kind of make if you know your opponent's going to throw 4 hooks in a row, You can feint. Feints are there to draw your opponent's attack. When you feint, they think you're going to strike, so they throw shots. That's where you create the space and throw into, and that's a skill that a lot of people need to kind of use a lot more in UFC 4. Feints are there to kind of draw your attacks out. You don't always have to go in with a shot. You can kind of feint there. You can use some head movement as he is right now, and that's what we're seeing right now. But Masvidal very patient, even though he's thrown 4 hooks there, Cyrus.
Yeah, look, he is kind of 0 to 100, but there he gets caught, and that's the problem with telegraphing everything, Jay. He needs to set some of these shots up, because otherwise his opponent's gonna easily see these attacks coming, especially being the longer of the two fighters. He has the ability to retreat more easily, and it's just it should at least make it difficult for Steele to be able to find the mark with some of those boxing combinations.
Yeah, and if you can see, like Humble said, he should feint. He should feint a jab, feint to the body, and draw some reactions out of him, because he's fighting telegraph. Like, he's trigger happy. He want to throw the hook every time he gets near him.
Yeah, definitely. And as one of our admins said in the chat earlier on, Jackson was asking about the main event rules earlier on. He didn't want none of this prelim stuff. You know, he's already set his eyes for a bigger prize, and we're gonna need to see him a patient game from here. We are starting to see him kind of unload a lot more shots, Cyrus, and figure out his opponent. But we need to finish this guy in spectacular fashion if you want to be there. There we go.
Yeah, no, you were calling for all of the right things there, Humble, and I have to say that as you were saying it, I was seeing those things kind of unfold in front of my eyes. Darren Till definitely starting to center himself here, Jay, starting to make the reads, as Humble was saying a moment ago, and that's leading to some big counter opportunities. Otherwise, you know, when he was mistiming it at the beginning of the round just like that, he was getting caught, but it's that high risk, high reward of going for these big counter shots. You know, when you land them, it just completely changes the trajectory of the fight, and of course the same can be said when your opponent is able to catch you.
Yeah, you know what I would do if I was Darren Till? Because since we know Jorge's game plan, we can see, I would duck some of the hooks and I'd start going to the body. I start throwing some, you see how he switched to orthodox? So right there, the lead body kick's open too. I'd start a combo with that too. Because if you notice, he's not blocking his body.
Yeah.
Yeah, without coaching too much as well, there's a lot of opportunity there for you kind of throw the lead kick to the body as well. You know, he comes around those shots and he's circling into it. You know, Darren Till at the moment, Jackson, he's trying to get his foot and he's trying to understand what his opponent does. And sometimes, Cyrus, when you fight somebody that throws 4 hooks, I don't want to offend Steele in any way here, but when I find it harder sometimes to fight people who are Division 1 to 5 than I do Division 20. Because
1 to 5?
they are unpredictable. They throw stuff that I don't think is possible. They throw 8 shots to the body and go. Yeah,
it's taking combinations, right? That's what it is, because it's like you cannot make reads on how to evade your opponent's shots if they don't know what they're throwing until it's actually like midway out. I don't think that's what Steele is doing here, just to be absolutely clear. But
I'm not gonna lie, we can tell. We know exactly what he's throwing right now.
Yeah,
Stevie can see this.
He's
can see this right now.
This is the thing. Steele has gone with like a chaotic style. These multiple hooks. He knows that it's risky, and now it's starting to count against him as Jason is lighting up Jorge Masvidal up against the cage here, Humble.
Yeah, definitely nice throw right there. Bit of veteran experience. He's got the stamina low. He's going to chip away at the head health and see what ground game Steele's got. Steele is quick to move right there. That was a massive opportunity for Jackson to.
He could have denied that right.
Yeah, if he got it to now right there, it's kind of over. But is that a rear naked choke? It's a banned rear naked choke.
Hey, listen. I would let him sub me and get a DQ win if I was him. I would literally put the controller down.
There's no point. You know, it is banned in this league. But,
I know there's going to be some people in the back poo-pooing this a little bit later, but for now we'll let this fight play out. We'll see which way this goes. Round 2, 1 minute 45 on the clock here, Humble, and once again Darren Till seems to be back in the driving seat in terms of the pressure, calculating his way forward, trying to make sure that he connects with Jorge's block.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think Jackson wants an easy sort of band submission win either.
Oh my gosh, I see another hook.
Oh, he got him with his piece, rocked him. No, that was Masvidal's stamina. Okay, I thought he was.
Yeah, that was his
stamina. Jesus Christ.
Oh my, I'm not gonna lie to you. He can slowly pick him apart, rip shots to the body. He can slowly, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to rush it. He doesn't have to throw 4s and 3s every time, bro.
Just throw it to the body if you're Jackson.
Yeah.
There it is from Jackson. He sets him up and sits him down. This might be it right here. Mr. Humble Dink And it
this
is.
may be over. Yeah.
It is over. And Jackson gets his first, I think it's his first win. It's his debut win, I believe I've got. Yeah, debut win this season in the Primetime Octagon. And it's a second round finish. Well, then points are really important, Cyrus, as we've talked about before, against an opponent that, without disrespecting him too much, you should have thought Jackson should have kind of overcome and kind of blown him out of the water there. But a bit of a tricky one as well. You don't expect that in every day when you're fighting somebody.
Yeah, honestly, that's the thing about that sort of style, is that it's difficult to predict, right? And I think that over the course of that fight, Jackson was showing shades that, of a better fighter, basically. He was starting to make reads. He looked like he was starting to try and set things up. However, like you said, his opponent was throwing 4 hooks in a row multiple times in that fight, and making that sort of read a little bit earlier. And maybe it was nerves, right? Because I feel like a lot of his head movement was preemptive rather than trying to time them and the sideshow. Still, though, his opponent was probably DQ'd. I don't deal with that stuff. The guys in the back normally decide. Of course, it was a banned kind of attempt, so I think that would have probably ended up as a DQ for his opponent in either respect. But
That rare naked choke.
yeah, that shouldn't allow, bro. No, but Jackson, we obviously let the fight play out, and Jackson, as a result, is able to pick up the win either way, and that's a great one for him there, Jay.
Yeah, it was a good win, and I think if I'm him, I'd rewatch the film, because there's a lot. He could have got him out of there a lot faster. There's a lot he could have did. He could have been patient. There's, you know what I'm saying? Because we know what Steele was throwing. He just wasn't, what's the word? It took him a while to adapt to it because it was unexpected.
And for Steele as well, you're in amongst the UFC 4 community now. If you're playing this game regularly and stuff like that, there's so many people out there that you can pick the brain, you can train with, you can kind of fight and do spars with, and you can grow your arsenal and get better as well. So this is the part of it. Once you're in the community, Cyrus, you can essentially grow. I've seen people like Jay Dime who joined the community maybe 3 or 4 months ago. I think it might be a bit longer now, actually. But he's striking
now.
Yeah, his striking's fantastic now. It's because he's striking against really good strikers every single day, and he's probably been beat thousands of times to get to the position where he is to win that one fight. And once he wins it, he realizes, I'm getting better. And that's what you got to do in this community. You've got to grow. You've got to learn from your losses, essentially.
Yeah, exactly right. In order to be the best, you've got to beat the best, or at least be training with the best, and that's exactly what you're able to do when you're in such a tight-knit community just like this, right? Everybody fights each other inside and outside of this cage, under the lights or not, and that leads to iron sharpening iron. These guys continue to develop their skills and elevate their games. But talking about elevation, as we move up this card, we have 2 fighters that are well known towards this community. We're going to be having the one and only TMF Chinsworth, fresh back from his trip to Mexico. He was training at sea level, and he's been needing it, Jay. He's been needing it because he's up against one of the fan-friendly favorites in Broomstick, a guy that needs no literal introduction. The kid is an absolute savage in the cage, can do it all, as both can, but they have entertaining and friendly styles.
I like that introduction there, but you gotta say it's Gucci Broomstick. You forgot the Gucci.
Okay,
it's not a normal
apologies.
broomstick.
Gucci Broomstick, bro. He does go by Gucci too. My bad.
There we go. It's Gucci Broomstick. This should be a fan-friendly fight. A fight I'm looking forward to, especially now that Chinsworth just finished training in Mexico. So, he's ready for this one, Humble.
Yeah, he definitely is. Well, he's currently 2-0 in the division, and he will be fighting Broomstick, who I believe is 4-4 at the moment. So, we talk, or 3-3, sorry, at the moment. Grizzly Vet, I think he's had some fights on PlayStation as well, Cyrus, but he will be fighting Chinsworth. Chinsworth currently ranked 17th in the division. This win will take him, up there with the Grains, the Killer Jakes, the Crazy Jag, and the Lexas, Mix-Ups, Dirty Dave, people like that. And this is what he's going to be looking to do. In his way is Broomstick, and Broomstick's going to be coming to spoil the party tonight.
Yeah, honestly, Chinsworth is one of the heads of TMF. He is a moderator, long-standing moderator within Primetime MMA. Does a lot of work. Obviously, Gucci Broomstick, Jay, is also much the same. He's been around the scene for a long time, done a lot of fantastic work in the back and inside of the cage. I will say that I've sparred both of these guys on multiple occasions, especially Chinsworth. That guy and me maybe have had, 1,000 fights at this stage. It's getting a bit ridiculous, but I can tell you that
1,000?
Yeah, it's nearly there, if not there, bro. Yeah,
That's a lot of sparring with the one person, Cyrus.
It is, bro. It is, but trust me, he's an entertaining fighter. He goes after it each and every time, and the same can be said about Gucci Broomstick over here. They're just straight savages, man. They really, really go after the action. They're really well-rounded, so a lot, Cheese isn't going to work against these guys. They don't lose against low-tier opponents, and when they find themselves in situations like this, they relish the opportunity, Jay, to leave it all in the cage and showcase their skills against a worthy opponent.
It seems we've got another Masvidal pick as well. It's the third Masvidal pick we've had in a row. So, I don't know the hell that's happening. We've got 11 weight classes. What's going on right now? I'm not quite sure. But Ponzinibbio is a brilliant pick. I love Ponzinibbio. He was, you remember the surge he had in that division? I think he was 7 wins, 1 loss. And, he beat Gunny Nelson as well. Quite frankly, with some beautiful eye pokes. So he's done really well, and he's put himself back in a good position in real life. But this would be a fantastic fight. I'd love to see his fight in real life.
Yeah, it would be a fun one, man, and it's going to be a fun one just the same right here, right now, as we're seeing Broomstick doing some fantastic work and really, really off timing. Chinsworth, I mean, a lot of big shots landing here, Jay.
Yeah, Jorge boxing looked really nice just now. Like he unloaded a nice combo a second ago, but it's a really good fight already, and it's only the first round.
It certainly is, and nice work from Ponzinibbio. I'm liking how Chinsworth mixing up the kicks. He's becoming very tricky. He's throwing a kick and then he's throwing shots of combinations from his punches afterwards. He's really chaining them together, and obviously Broomstick's falling for that Venus flytrap. Cyrus, every time he throws that kick, he's going to offload and getting caught with one of them punches.
Yeah, trust me when I say that both of these guys have a very, very deep and diverse arsenal at their, kind of at their will almost, and we're going to continue to see how that plays out in front of us. I mean, we're seeing a lot more kicks now coming out of Broomstick, and I have to say that I'm liking what I'm seeing from Chinsworth in terms of his overall approach, blocking that body, getting the nice little trip off. He's attacking the cardio very well, and this is interesting to note. He's actually going after the grappling, which he's very, very good at, but often you see him go back to the feet just like this there, Jay, which, is fun, but sometimes plays against him.
And I'm also noticing Jorge's trying to go to the body. He was kind of telegraphing when he kept on the front kick into the switch body kick, but I noticed he's slowly trying to go to the body a little bit.
Yeah, there's 2 different type of ways you can kind of go at the body as well. You've got, if you're going to start throwing lead leg kicks or round kicks, you need your opponent moving backwards, and you need them moving backwards into that space from boxing range into kicking range as you're throwing them. But obviously Masvidal as well, if you're going to throw down the middle and you're going to go to the body, you need to go down the middle with teeps, and that's exactly what he tried to do and got caught and whacked with Chinsworth with a beautiful right hand, Cyrus.
Yeah, the timed leg kick got him stunned. He followed up with a couple of beautiful punches to the head, and the combinations are starting to flow from both guys. And honestly, we haven't seen 15% of the skills that are at their disposal so far, by my estimation. So I think they're going to continue to turn it up as we see him really, really pressing the action here towards the last 20 seconds.
Oh, damage.
Oh, that's nice. I'm about to be quiet for the final 10 seconds of this round, because this going to get ugly.
Oh, he overexerted himself, got caught with the left hook right there. Masvidal and Broomstick putting on the pressure. Great first round from both guys. Very, very close, very even. Look at that, significant strikes going in Masvidal's favour. And then on the other hand, the rock to the body going in the opposite. I believe was that rock to the legs actually, Cyrus? I'm not quite sure.
It was. He got a leg stun in that first round as well. So, I mean, I have to say that was a beautiful, beautiful display of technique, chaotic energies meeting in the middle. And, whoa, my God, they are starting out their second round with an absolute fury, Jay.
Do they not like each other? Because, listen to me.
It's just the way they fight, bro.
Yeah.
They are trying to kill each other.
Yeah, there's just some people when you put them together, they're gonna absolutely throw down. And when you put Mike Tyson against Mike Tyson, you're not gonna get a technical decision. That's exactly what this is right now. It's 2 guys that like to go out there and hit their shots and land the lever, and that's what we're seeing right now, Cyrus. Beautiful combinations coming backwards and forwards. For me, it's whoever lands the big clean one first, right?
Yeah, it is. It's whoever gets that perfect slip counter, whoever gets the bigger shot to land in the cleanest is ultimately going to get it in this one, because the combinations are flying. They're relying in their defense. They're relying in their offense, and you can see why, Jay, because they're having a lot of success. Although they're taking a lot of damage, it's kind of like that early Justin Gaethje kind of vibe out here with both guys bringing the heat.
Oh, yeah. They're really going at it right now. And right now, I think Jorge has the advantage, too.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jane. I want to go back to you actually with something. Look at that body damage he's done.
Yeah.
You were talking about the lead. You always talk about the body work that George Masvidal has, and crazy little combination right there.
Oh, that cost him. That just cost him.
Chins. Oh, is he
Oh
gonna
my
fall?
God.
He's knocked him down. He's got no energy left, though, and the stamina is going to be a problem. That body, the money in the bank early on, Dime, is going to be a effect to stop the finish right there.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, he cost him.
He may not need
cost
stamina,
himself
bro.
when he tried to throw that. When he tried to throw that wild kick, he cost himself. Ooh.
Honestly,
Broomstick missed.
honestly, man, this is so kind of tight right now. That stamina for both guys is becoming obliterated. As you can see, the leg health and the head health on the side of Jorge Masvidal is gone. But same can be said about the body health and head of Chinsworth. So with a lot of time left on the clock, this is anybody's game here, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. It's very simple of what Broomstick's doing. I know there's a lot of combinations coming in. He gets caught right there, though. Ponzinibbio's doing well when he's going
his
forward.
leg.
Chinsworth's doing well when he's going forward. When he's going backwards, Broomstick's sneaking in them body attacks, and that's what's catching Chinsworth off guard. That's what's draining the stamina. So when he's going forward, you're seeing a lot of success from Chinsworth at the moment, Dime.
Yeah, I agree. You know what the problem is? The problem is he gave Chinsworth, Ponzinibbio got some momentum back after he threw that wild kick. And you know this is a game of momentum, and right now he's looking good.
Nah, that could be the difference, right? That's the difference between someone.
That's the difference. He pull countered him. That's the difference. He put this to bed. That's the difference, Hubble. That's
4-4, currently ranked around 50th in the division, gets a win over number 17, an undefeated prospect in Chinsworth. Cyrus, whatever you got to say about that one? Beautiful win for Broomstick. He cannot be anything but happy.
I mean, more than impressed. Broomstick has really been elevating his game, and this performance right here, it paints a beautiful picture of what's his things. Kind of, I suppose his limit is going forward. Chinsworth a very credible threat. He deserves to be in and about that top 10 based on skill level, right? If not higher. But quite honestly, when you look across now with Gucci, Broomstick doing the damn thing here this evening, and honestly, he looked great doing it. He didn't shy away from some risks here, Jay. He met the battle head on, and ultimately was able to do enough damage to get his hand raised.
And that was a great fight. Good performance on both ends. I'm just happy with that pull counter. That was beautiful, Cyrus.
It really was, man. It really was. There was a lot of beautiful destruction on display in that fight. Probably my fight of the night so far, where early into the card and already absolute bangers. And I mean, Gucci Broomstick actually, no bets on his side. So nobody making money. Make sure to bet on Gucci Broomstick in future, because that guy has some skills, and if you all didn't know, you do now. You do now.
Now you know.
Definitely, like you know, when I even bet on underdogs sometimes, because you win the other. So if someone bets, if someone bets 100% of the bet score on one person of channel points, it's 80,000, and you put $1,000 on, you're winning the 80,000 for the grand. If you're the only person, like, you're winning the other bets will go to you in your favor, and they'll win what you bet. So you've got to bet. It's simple as that. You've got to put your bets on it and kind of put it in there. But what a performance from Gucci. I don't want to take away anything that he's done. That was fantastic. What a fight. I think some more calculation, a bit more of a game plan going into that fight from Chinsworth would have done him a bit more favor, J-Time.
Yeah, I agree. Right when it looked like Chinsworth took the momentum back, he gets pulled counter, though. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, and honestly, when I was looking at that, after the fight, I had obviously switched across again, the next fight all set up, but I did get a quick glimpse at the overall fight statistics. There was actually a couple more stuns and a knockdown on the side of Chinsworth over the course of that fight, so he was probably up in terms of the overall rounds, right? He was doing some great work in a very close and contested bout, but it's about when it comes down to that final bell, who's able to make the most important, the most vital adjustments, and that was Broomstick. That big pull counter, we called it earlier in the fight. It's whoever was able to make that read, get that perfect pull counter early enough, is going to get their hand raised, and that was Gucci, and upwards and onwards for that guy right there. Chinsworth will be back better than ever But it was a beautiful fight, Humble, to set us up for the next one, which is from two incredibly high-level competitors on the PlayStation side, EK Declan and BMF Millions. These guys in light heavyweight. It's going to be a fun one, brother.
Is this PlayStation side or is it Xbox? I can see
PlayStation.
Millions being. Is it definitely PlayStation? Because I didn't know EK Declan was fighting on PlayStation, but I know Millions got. I think both, yeah, but you've just been confirmed there. Millions, one of the guys who I've trained against quite a lot. He's one of the guys who I know can strike. He's a fantastic striker. He represents that BMF camp with pride, as we've seen a lot of these competitors do, J-Dime. And he's fighting somebody from the EK camp in Declan who's going to come out and really try and stamp it. Camp versus camp. It doesn't get any better when it's camp versus camp. There's a lot of pride at stake. There's a lot of people, there's a lot more eyeballs when it's camp versus camp.
I'm just happy. Man, listen to me. I'm a little biased to Millions. I've sparred Millions a lot recently. I like Millions a lot because I think his striking's really good too.
Yeah, good person as well. Good fella.
Yeah.
Looking at the chat, I mean, a lot of guys are tending to go in your direction as well. There's a lot of support out here right now for Millions, and I can understand why. I've seen his performances in the past, but I know that those EK boys, and especially Declan, are game to the very, very end. He's going with the Vanderlei Silva pick here, which could pose somebody like Alexander Gustafsson some problems if Millions isn't minding all of his P's and Q's there, Humble. Got to be very, very tight on the defense against such a heavy hitter like Vanderlei Silva.
Yeah, definitely. Some people absolutely love that pick as well. I just want a good time in the chat to kind of say thank you to I'm chill for the biddies in there. We do love your support in the chat. If you do want to support us here at PrimeTime, if you do enjoy what we're doing, hit that host button, hit that share button, share the stream. It goes out to your followers as well and get everybody in, including your friends in here. But back to the fight. Gustafsson's got that reach. He's got that beautiful movement. He's got that elusive movement that it's really hard to hit him, especially if he's on his toes, J-Dime. He moves like a middleweight in this one. But Silva, for me, is a middleweight. So I don't know. It depends how these kind of work. Who's going to fight at range? Who's going to fight at the pocket is going to be the key to this one.
I also think Wanderlei Silva has to find a way to close the distance because, as we know, Alexander Gustafsson, especially in his prime, has really good boxing. 4-star boxing combos, to be exact, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly. And he can play long, man. If he goes all down the barrel, uses those knees very well, uses jabs and straights to his advantage, like he seems to be starting out right here with. He could have a really, really nice and easy fight, but it's hard to have an easy fight. You're humbled up against somebody like EK Declan, especially with a heavy hitter like Vanderlei Silva. It doesn't take too many to compromise the chin.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a high-level fight right now. This could have been main card, but obviously with the records of these two at the moment, the way in the prelims. But trust me, if these guys had a few more fights, we could be seeing these two fighting in a mid-card fight. And you're already seeing some high-level movement from Million as Declan's trying to close the distance and land some shots in the pocket.
With them hooks from Wanderlei Silva, look, I be forgetting he has his own animation. Do you see the hooks he's throwing?
Yeah. Oh, the lead uppercut after the slip off to the side for BMF Millions, looking silky smooth, but the danger is always present here, Humble, from somebody like Vanderlei Silva.
He has the distance.
Oh my God!
Oh, beautiful work from Million. And this is what he's really good at as well. Million's got one of the best pullbacks I play against all the time. He catches me with that one. Beautiful work from Million. Using his range really well, even though he's creating that full space there, J-Dime. He's creating that full sense of, you can throw your hooks. I know what you're going to do. That's the only shot you've kind of got, and I'm going to pull back and hit you now. What are you going to come with after that? And Declan's got to figure out something right now.
Yeah, I feel like he's in a jutsu right now, like Naruto. He's in a genjutsu right now. I think he's stuck right now because right now Millions has the distance right now. He has the distance and the timing right now. He's basically picking him apart from the outside, Cyrus.
Yeah, he seems to have made a lot of early reads and knew what his game plan was coming into this bout, having a lot of success, but I have to say the shots are starting to bleed through just a little bit from Declan. Obviously, an uphill battle from him, Humble, but he seems to be up to the task and doesn't seem to be getting too frustrated, although, there has been a lot of adversity for him.
Yeah, definitely. Let's break down kind of what he's doing as well, Million, at the moment to kind of stop Declan. So Declan has got the shorter range. He has to work his way into the pocket. He has to work his way into that space. And every single time he starts to reset and set a combination, Million will catch him with a long kick to the body, or he'll catch him coming in and then plant his feet in. With a big shot right there, Cyrus.
Yeah, and that perfectly timed shot and the way in which he is setting these look, he's moving about, using some head movement, doesn't tend to take pictures, and that's the important thing, I feel here, Jay, is not taking pictures after your shots. It's one thing moving about, but when you throw some, you can't stay in the pocket with somebody like Vanderlei Silva, man. He will absolutely murder you.
I agree with you, and Millions playing it right. You see he's not rushing.
Yeah.
He's still just picking him apart. Look at the stamina difference going into the second. Like, this is beautiful to me. I love this style of fighting. That's why I like sparring Millions, because I love his style of fighting, and this makes for great matches.
Yeah, he's one of them that you know that if he gets ahead as well, Cyrus, that you're in for it, because he usually comes out with the game plan. If he implements that, it's calculated. He never steps a foot wrong. You won't see Million throw a kick in the pocket. He will throw knees in the pocket if he has to, because it's shorter range, but he won't throw kicks in the pocket against Vanderlei Silva because he knows he's going to get hit with a hook. He's going to throw it from the outside, and that's going to be the deterrent for stopping from Vanderlei Silva getting inside.
Yeah, honestly, his defense is absolutely sound here this evening. His shot selection has been on point. Much to your point right there, Humble, really taking away a lot of the opportunities from Declan, who now is really trying to have a final rally here in the second round. And
oh my God, out of there.
It's just, he's so clean with this defense. Look, everything connects with Gus. This is nice, though. Bit of a mix-up.
Not gonna lie, I was waiting for that. I was waiting because he had to make an adjustment.
Yeah.
Because he was just getting picked apart on the feet. He couldn't find a way to close that distance. So I think this is good for EK right now.
Yeah,
I disagree, and I'll tell you why. It's because Millions is too experienced in this field. He will let Declan work. He's going to let Declan kind of throw some shots. He's going to block some here and there. Millions probably going to just lay on his back for a bit and not do much and let Declan kind of overexert himself. And then once he gets him in that vulnerable position, Declan's going to be screwed. That stamina is massive. Now, it's better than the feet. I do agree with that, J-Dime. But at the moment, I don't think Millions in any sort of in trouble.
But I mean, quite honestly, sorry, Jake, but quite honestly, it's kind of a pick your poison sort of situation, right? Getting lit up on the feet, not in a good position, and your cardio was getting destroyed there, Jay. But taking it to the mat, he's at least winning these seconds now, and can maybe control the pace on how active he's going to be.
Good.
Yeah, and sometimes you need just a hint of something going your way, because it was going all Millions' way. And you said pick your poison. I promise you I was going to say that, Cyrus.
Oh, my bad,
crazy.
bro.
How did you think of that, Cyrus?
Great minds think alike, bro. Great minds think alike, for sure.
I agree with that one.
Nice denial right there. And just keeping attention on that stamina bar as well. If you look at that silver stamina bar, it was near the X at the start of that transition, and now it's near the 9. So he's got to be careful, whereas Million's not really done anything. He's still got his stamina bar at the top. It's going to nearly be full when they come out for the second round, if they do, and they're back on the feet, J-Dime.
Yeah, he's back to picking him apart. See, I disagree with you, Humble. Now, this is more, he denied it, but I would rather be on the ground with him if I was him, because he's getting picked to pieces right now on the feet.
Yeah, I mean, on the feet, it's just a different pace, right? He is completely in control because of that cardio, and he just feels so confident. He's starting to run away with it. So at least on the mat, there, Humble, I suppose he's he's being controlled and corralled just a little bit.
Yeah, it's just the case of Millions. He's such a good veteran that he knows exactly what he's doing. He let you kind of waste that stamina. And when you do get back to the feet, it's even worse because you've kind of used some more stamina. I guess what I'm saying is he's screwed either way. Unless he lands a big shot at the moment, it kind of surprises us all. And we're not seeing enough head movement. We're not seeing enough bait. We're not seeing enough feints from Declan to kind of pull something out of Million, because he's not stepped a foot wrong, J-Dime.
Yeah, this is almost a flawless performance right now. And he's also making Wanderlei Silva miss too, which is draining his stamina too. Him whiffing shots. Ooh.
Nice pull. Both guys pulled their shots as well. There it is, though. Back to BMF Millions, feinting some shots, connecting with others. Has him rocked to the body and the head. He is about to close the show right here, right now, Jay. This is incredible.
It's flawless. That's flawless. That was a flawless victory for my boy BMF Millions right there. I'm glad. It was a good fight, but I'm glad he was able to showcase his striking, because I love his striking. Like, I may be biased towards it, but I like playing against him. It's beautiful to watch sometimes, Humble.
it's very technical, and he does stuff like in real life that, you know, like this is sort of game plans in real life that you kind of use. What you seen at the end there, Cyrus was super technical. Even though he had his opponent hurt, he did something called mirroring, where you throw a certain shot or you throw a certain combination. In this sense, he did a lean back. His opponent copied him, and then he went to the body immediately, knowing his opponent was going to copy him, and it was beautiful. Sort of, kind of, you know, mesmerized him into copying him, and then just went straight to the body and knew exactly the combination that was going to put him down.
Yes, setting traps in front of his opponent. You know, there's all levels of trickery and ways in which you can employ your, you know, offense and defense in this game. And you know, in MMA, kind of more broadly, I have to say, millions really, really running away with it, living up to the moniker of the BMF kind of gym tag. He has a bright future here, man. I'm very, very intrigued on where he's ultimately gonna kind of find himself within primetime MMA. But right now, the sky's the limit, Jay. Yeah, I think a lot of support from yourself and others within the community is more than warranted for somebody of this level's, you know, this guy's skills. By all means, I mean, you don't really get much better than that up against, you know, let's not sleep on this. EK Declan's a tough fighter, man. He is a good all-round opponent. So he was not just doing this to anybody. He's doing it against a tough opponent.
Yeah, and if I'm EK Declan, maybe it was just a bad night at the office. I'm going to look at the film and I'm going to see what I could do better. I'm going to find better ways to close the distance and get in the pocket. But he shouldn't hold his head down from that performance, Humble.
No, definitely, especially when we talk about Million in such a highlight, is because we all played against him. Basically, he's kicked our ass a lot of times. So that's how you get respect in this community. You beat up people, and I've been beat up many times by Million, so I know how bloody good he is. So Declan can keep his head high. You know, he's a fantastic fighter in his own right, and he'll come back stronger, and he'll learn from that loss today.
100%. That's what it's all about, right? That's what it's all about. Learning from your losses, learning from your wins. And, you know, sometimes the losses are the things that you learn the most from, because it, you know, makes you critically assess yourself and your skills and kind of really, really, truly go back to the drawing board. But with that all being said, we take another beautiful step into this absolutely fantastic primetime event this Saturday. Honestly, it's been incredible so far, and I expect it to continue straight on to the next one with the Beats 125 up against Reepsy. They're going to be fighting in middleweight. I'm seeing Nick Diaz up against Robbie Lawler. You know I love it there, Jay. What an incredible fight that's going to be.
Third fight between those two?
No, Nick Diaz, Robbie Lawler. Yeah, the third fight, bro.
The third fight? Now I got to get my popcorn out, because we seen how the first fight went. Then the second fight, Nick Diaz wasn't in the best shape. A lot, you know what I'm saying? It looked like he wasn't the best. But I'm sure for this fight, he's ready, he's locked in, and he wants revenge on Robbie Lawler. I expect a vintage performance from both guys, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the keys to the Diaz brothers, technically on the feet, the strike and the boxing, he's more technically sound than Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler likes to use a lot more power. He likes to load upon his shots a lot more than Nick Diaz. And Nick Diaz is like a volume puncher who kind of works the body to work the head. But his last fight, he wasn't physically fit to do so. But on this game, you're going to have no problem with physically fit, because you get to control the fighter. And let's talk about the record of Reepsy. I'm sure he fought last night. I'm 900% sure that I did call one of his fights last night. And I believe he lost. And I think he's 2-1 at the moment. But he's taking on a competitor at the moment in the B2 who needs to win. He's 0-1, and he needs to go there. And all the bets are on the line. And it looks like the Beats is actually getting, even though he's got 0-1, the 4-5 grand went straight onto the Beats of some confident people not betting on Reepsy at the moment. You know, you can't leave him with that zero bet. Cyrus.
Yeah, maybe sleeping on him once again, and he's going to be trying to upset the betting lines here this evening. No touch of gloves in the first one, Jay. All business as we open up this first round. And obviously the Beats trying to take the center, but Nick not having any of it.
Telling you, Nick wants his revenge from last time. Nick said he wasn't all the way there, Cyrus, but he said he's here now.
Yeah, he's focused, man. He's been doing his triathlons. He's been really putting the work in, focused, in shape, and believes he has the cardio to go a full 5 if needed, but only 3 scheduled here this evening. Here, Mr. Humbledink, and I think that this is already turning out to be an interesting bout. Some interesting shot selections from both guys, opening up some big opportunities for some blistering shots to land home.
Yeah, like that uppercut to the body, to the hook to the head that Lawler landed a second ago. I feel like Reeps is he's trying to gauge what his opponent's starting. They say it again. He's trying to kind of gauge what his opponent's going to start throwing and trying to intercept those combinations. You can see him kind of He's just stood in front of his opponent at the moment, kind of using some head movement in there, isn't really throwing too much, and that's just kind of getting yourself warmed up, seeing what your opponent's got, J-Dime.
Ooh. Yeah, and I like, not the body. I like what Nick was doing. He's moving his head. I'd make Robbie Lawler whiff a little bit because you have the stamina advantage.
Yeah.
And then start to slowly keep chipping on, putting a pace on him slowly, Humble.
Nice work right there. Yeah, obviously Robbie Lawler actually got a huge buff in his last.
He got a buff.
Oh, you got for beating Nick Diaz, and Nick Diaz actually got reduced. So you've got two guys that the punching power, I believe, of Nick Diaz got really suffered, and so did the stamina. So the beat is actually in probably a better position with a better character, but it depends on how you use that character. Beautiful uppercut there from Reeps as he goes back to it. Both meeting in the center of the octagon, Cyrus, and throwing down at the moment.
Yeah, they are really, really letting these shots fly at the moment. 1 minute 50 in the first round. Nice little teep from Reepsy, trying to play a little bit more of the technical game, as you were alluding to leading into this one, but a lot of action, Jay, from Robbie Lawler, and accumulatively, he seems to be landing the more shots.
Yeah, this is a good first round. I feel like the second round. I'm not even going to talk about that. Robbie Lawler then kicked him in the head.
Yeah, he then feinted a single leg, which even threw me off, Humble, but...
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, just trickery on trickery, bro.
Yeah, I think he was going for that lead body hook, and obviously we know that the UFC doesn't understand how to build controllers, so, if you hold one for a bit too longer, it goes for a takedown, and if you press the other one, it goes for a body hook, so, I think he was doing that because it was his next shot, and he surprised himself right there. Reeps got let off the hook slightly, but this is still a back and forth war. Just the power of Lawler's coming through, and Reeps looks like he's in real trouble right now, J-Dime.
Yeah, he needs to regroup right now. He only has 10 more seconds left. Just, just cool out, regroup for the second round. Don't throw nothing big with 3 seconds left.
Good fight.
Yeah, it is. Very good fight so far.
Yeah, an incredible, one would say even an emphatic pace over the opening going of this bout. It's getting tighter and tighter as they kind of peter out, right? A lot of shots are starting to bleed through. They're making excellent reads on each other, and with at least these next 5 minutes to go, potentially another 5 on top of that, opportunities are only going to continue to unfold upon, in front of them. It's just, I honestly feel here, Humble, I don't know if you agree, it's going to be who's a little bit more patient almost, because the pace is crazy.
Oh, wow. In the start of the round, Reeps has come out and he's gone firing.
He pointed at him.
Stockton slap! Stockton slap, and he gets blocked!
Oh, my God.
Mistake right there. He likes the showmanship, but the beat has already proved that he can handle sort of the Reeps. I think Reeps caught him off guard. Reeps came out differently than he did in the first round. He's caught him with an uppercut right there. He's going back to the body. He's going for the knockout combination, and these two are really picking up the pace in this round, J-Dime.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie. If Reeps didn't point at him, he could have took some more momentum. He pointed again. And he has to, I'm not going to lie.
I felt
the way he's acting, he gotta end this. He gotta make a statement because he just barely got out the way of that.
East.
Oh, he got him.
This is it, bro. This is it. It's gotta be.
Oh, he taunted again. Oh, never mind. This man just, I don't know how to explain it. He may have just got a +10 to his attributes when he started.
Oh, he slapped him and rocked him.
And he slapped him.
Bro, I'm feeling these taunts right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Normally, I'm like, I'm a little bit worried for him, but he's in the zone. He is absolutely flowing, Humble, and everything seems to be coming together for him.
Yeah, the Beats is struggling right now, and the Reeps is really reaping the rewards of the combination punching that he's landed. Got to be careful though, because if it takes one shot to kind of end the fight, and the stamina and head health of both guys is not the best. I know Diaz is in a better position, but his body and head health isn't the best either. So the Beats is like,
he's saucing him. I'm not gonna lie, he's getting young, fly, and flashy on him. He saw some. He tried to smack him again. Oh my goodness! Hey, I'm not gonna lie. He may put this match away, or he may play with his food because he's saucing right now.
He is going for something big. He is trying to do it with a bit of swag, and he is now just absolutely torturing his opponent. The head health almost gone, and he sets him. He sets him down, bro. He sets him down. That was vicious. That was mean. He gives some respect and well played afterwards, but I'm not surprised his opponent isn't coming back in response. Oh, he is. It took a second, though, right? That took a second.
He's playing the character as well. Like, you know, if you're playing Nick Diaz, that guy is going to kind of do some of that. You're same with Conor McGregor sometimes. Yeah. They're going to kind of be a bit flashy. they're technically simming, right? So it's not a representation of him, but it was a good showmanship performance from Reapsy, and he goes 3-1. He got a loss last night. He bounces immediately straight back, gets 3-1. He wasn't defeated. He tasted his first loss, and you can see that really affected him, and he wanted to come out and prove tonight that that wasn't him last night. It was a great fight last night as well from both guys, and he comes out tonight and proves everybody that he's a top contender.
Yeah, exactly right. And sky's the limit, man. Sky's the limit for that kid right there. Interesting to see where he goes. Once again, these fights setting us up beautifully once after the other. These two guys up next are, quite honestly, it's one of the low-key fights I was keeping my eye on. Kyrgios up against M7_UFC. I'm not as familiar with M7 UFC, but I hear he's going to be bringing the action. And he is up against Kyrgios, which I do know well. He's been around the scene for quite a little while now, and he's been doing some good work, Humble. He's been doing some good work.
Yeah, Kyrgios is currently 3-4 at the moment. I don't know much about.
I didn't realize he had dropped a couple.
Oh yeah, he used to be a cup contender last season. I think that's why the position of this card. Obviously, Fadinate has seen something in both of these guys. We do trust now matchmakers when they put these fights together. And M7, I don't know too much about M7_UFC, but he's going to be fighting a tough competitor in Kyrgios. I've fought Kyrgios myself, and he's a very good striker. He's well rounded. He will take it to the ground if he needs to as well.
So, hey, Humble, has everyone whooped you? You say you fought everybody every time, so you didn't got beat up by the whole roster.
This isn't about me, but I don't want to talk about man and Kyrgios result because it will take some shine off Kyrgios. Let's just say that, J-Dan.
Okay. I don't want to talk about him beating you up. Let's get to the fight, Cyrus.
I won the fight.
We're in it, brother. We're in it. Bantamweight is the weight class at this time. Kyrgios going Renan Barão. M7 going Cody Garbrandt. I love the Cody Garbrandt pick, but low-key, Renan Barão, he is a solid pick for this weight class. I mean, his Muay Thai is fantastic, and people forget that for a long time, he was like the bogeyman of this weight class here, Humble.
Yeah, it just shows as well, like I always look at rising stars in the UFC, and Sean O'Malley's up there, but there's not many people that pick him in bantam. I'm probably one of the only guys that mains him, that apart from a few people I know, and you never see it in these rank fights as well. He's got such good reach. Cody Garbrandt still seems to be one of the popular favourites, even with that chin, and even with the amount of times he keeps losing on PrimeTime, J-Dan.
You know why? It's because of the power, the speed. He has everything, Humble, except a chin.
Well,
everything else he has.
You need a chin, he's fighting.
Not if you take the other person's chin off.
You need to keep that guard on your chin at all costs, because that's one shot could end it. Oh, unless you forget, and we've got to remember as well, Renan Barão was the champion of the division. He was absolutely fantastic. People were comparing him to Aldo at one point when Aldo was reigning supreme as well. I think he defended his belt nearly 4 or 5 times, knocked out Eddie Wineland with that spinning kick to the head, Uriah Faber a few times. And these two have actually got a rivalry within Team Alpha Male with TJ Dillashaw, him and Uriah Faber. So interesting fight.
Oh, and the chin.
Yeah.
And the chin.
Kyrgios finding the mark early, brother. Finding the mark early. He's got him compromised. And now it's whether or not Cody Garbrandt's able to dial it back. Nice little head movement. Lands a couple of shots here, Humble. And that's a quick bounce back from the typically compromised Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see how confident that Kyrgios is at the moment. He's kind of feeling a bit disrespected today. That he's up there, but he's on the upper echelon in the prelims for a reason, and we're seeing it right now. He's coming out and trying to put on a performance with the legendary Renan Barão, and he's doing a fantastic job so far, J-Dan.
No, he is. And if you notice, Cody Garbrandt's been throwing a lot of round strikes. I've been waiting for a pull for a while.
Yeah, nice. And that's the thing in return. Barão is just going all down the middle, landing a lot of straight shots, jabs, straight, square in his face. And I have to say, this head movement, man, if he's able to keep this up, this is it's been pretty impressive so far, Humble. He's got that head off the center line more often than not, but that spin kick keeps him honest.
Okay.
God damn.
Cody.
Nice. He stepped away from it as well. He's just throwing punches and bunches, man. He just knows what he's doing.
And he taunted him. Here we go. Will we get another Nick Diaz-like performance, guys? Will we?
Oh, nice work right there. And in the moment, Garbrandt's throwing singles, right? Throwing single shots because Kyrgios not there to be hit. At the same time, his singles when you're using them, you need to intercept your opponent, you need to kind of or counter your opponent. There's two options you've got there, interception or counter, and he's doing neither right now. He's kind of just in limbo, and that's where Kersaw's coming through and kind of landing those punches in bunches, Cyrus.
Yeah, but I have to say, M7, man, he is actually starting to make some good head movement reads, but never mind. Kershaw landing another flurry. Humbledink saw the writing on the wall and called it exactly right as he continues to. But pour on an onslaught. I mean, Reaper was in the chat, and I was laughing to myself a moment ago. He said, "Who pissed in Kershaw's cereal?" He seems to be out here. He's not lying, bro. He seems to be out here fighting a little bit mad there, Jay.
Man, he's fighting like he tried to take his chain off his neck. That's the way he's fighting. Like, just look at the animosity in these punches. Just look at it. You can tell he's upset right now.
And I think that's due to like when you're fighting someone who's kind of maybe a newcomer to Primetime and you've been around for a while and you've been up at the top echelon of the division fighting the topper guys, and you're then fighting the kind of newbies coming through, and it kind of puts a bit of a hump on your back because you want to defend your position. You don't. It's almost like being in the UFC and getting told you might be cut. You know, you want to be telling people, "I'm still around. I'm still here. I'm good enough to compete." And I'm losing. Oh, wow!
Oh, I was about to say he felt disrespected, but M7 looks like he felt disrespected after that first round.
Yeah, sometimes that chip on the shoulder can really, really propel you to some really, really, kind of amazing victories, but also on the same time, that pressure can also make you make some mistakes here, Humble, and M7 seems to be staying committed to that head movement and counter game plan.
Oh! So close. Both guys pulled a pull right there, and I noticed a little adjustment from M7. I can tell he's a good fighter because he started adjusting to the lead hook. He gets caught.
But Cody Chin isn't adjusting.
Oh, yeah, that's the issue. It might be too little, too late, Jadon.
I don't think it's too late, but if Cody gets touched a few more, he gets touched a few more times. He is okay. He could have pulled one of them, but yeah, if he gets touched a few more times, he's not getting back up.
Bro. Hawks City, uppercut the follow. God damn.
Hey, if you don't pull, Cody, if you don't pull one of them, I'm going to jump in the game, Cody.
What happened to the head movement? And when he does, Edinburgh lands, Humble. He just finds the mark, the shot selection. Just seems to be very, very calculated. Even the hooks seem to be trying to call for head movement.
Yeah, he wants him to head move. That's the thing as well. Carujo's calling for it. He's trying to get him to knock him out while he's going for that spin kick to the head. I'm telling you now. He's trying to set it up at the moment. Oh! He's got a chance. He's got a chance.
He has a chance.
This could be
it over.
Oh my God, Caruso nearly got finished, and now he's got to respect his opponent. He's got to stop throwing hooks in bunches. He's got to be much more calculated, and that's probably the reason in the position that he's in as well, because you need to have calculated performances where you're dominating. That's their stream, not ours, guys. We'll wait for that comeback. Yeah. You need dominating performances against these type of guys, and at the moment, it's a bit of adversity right there, Cyrus.
It's a lot of adversity. It's a lot.
And honestly, as it was said in the chat that M7 is done, he came back with a flurry for the ages, man, and he must have seen that comment, and it's woken him up, man. He's taken offense, and he's onto a bit of momentum here, Jay. He's on a bit of momentum, brother. Looking good.
Upset. He just upset the world.
Oh wow.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I thought he was gonna win. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he had a chance to come back, but
Kershaw said, "Fuck your momentum, hold my beer." Absolutely uncorked with a right hand from hell, Humble.
It got close at the end.
Left hand.
Got close.
Jeez.
It got close. At the end, it got really close that round. Yeah, he was playing with fire. I'm gonna be real.
If his defense was a bit more on point and he actually went forward in the first round, I think instead of sitting on the back foot and letting his opponent kind of pepper him and trying to figure it out, he started flat-footed. He didn't start in Caruso, didn't, and that's ultimately what cost that fight. Caruso started doing the damage early and was able to utilize that to land that finalized blow at the end, even with the comeback from Cody Garbrandt.
Look at how many rounds there were. Not very many, my man. And look at the amount of shots and knockdowns. God damn, that was a good fight. And they continue to deliver. Start to end, this card has been fantastic. We have another absolute barn burner on the cards for the next one. The featured fight of the prelim, Jay. Gonna be TMF's very own Noggin coming up against Cass. Another very familiar face within the community. all the hallmarks of another incredible fight. There's a reason it's at the featured kind of positioning. It's because these guys are on the up, and we're going to have to see how they try to capture and realize this opportunity being given to them here this evening.
I got a question, Cyrus. Has any fights went to decision today?
No, my man, that they have not. That they have not. Since we've had the implementation of the new ranking system in particular, as Mr. Humbledink can attest to, these guys going out here hunting the finish more actively than ever, trying to get themselves those extra little bit of points to get up the rankings and get themselves that primetime gold.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of the... It's not about, obviously, forcing these guys to kind of knock each other out. It's rewarding people for dominant performances. There's nothing more dominant than finishing your opponent and making it decisive, you know, when it's a close round. And so we've seen robberies. We've seen people lose fights the way we don't. Last night, I remember people going crazy because there was a 30-27 one way and a 30-27 the other. And, you know, there was a 10-8 apparently in there as well. So it was a big difference. And you've got to take it away from that. And you've got to take it away from these judges, because these judges are corrupt as they come. But that being said, Cass versus Noggin. We got Noggin currently coming in. I think it was short notice. What happened to Big Nige? Did he get stuck up a tree, Cyrus? Is that what happened to Big Nige? Because last night there's a tree that's been taking souls at the moment. That tree is the ultimate goat. I'm going to put a belt around that tree one day.
Yeah, man, yeah. He tried to get up to the upper branches. He was, you know, kind of wilding out a little bit, trying to act up and kind of maybe blow off a little bit of steam going into a very, very tough fight in a featured spot, but got himself injured, and we'll have to see when he's back. Hopefully he will recover, but it does mean that we have another kind of, once again, short notice replacement, but with Noggin. This kid's as game as ever, man. He actually has an advantage going into this fight. We say it doesn't count for too much because it doesn't, but it is a little bit of an indicator there, Jay, because it shows us kind of how they've matched up maybe when the pressure hasn't been turned up to 100.
Yeah, but forget all that. Arnold Allen's fighting right now. Almighty Arnold Allen is fighting right now. I love that Arnold Allen pick in the featherweight division. He's underrated. His boxing is clean. He has 4-star hands, a 4-star hook, jab, uppercut. I don't know why more people don't use him, but he's going against Dustin Poirier, who has 5-star boxing. Even though we're at this weight class,
oh my,
that boxing is showing right now, he still has that 5-star boxing, Hubble.
Yeah, he definitely does. And, you know, Dustin Poirier is a beast. He doesn't have the same attributes as you've just said in the lightweight division, but in featherweight he was also an animal. But I think a bit more susceptible because he was cutting that weight. That chin wasn't as powerful. And Arnold Allen's going to have a good shot to kind of neutralise that and take it down. But I'd like to see some takedowns from Cass at the moment on Noggin. We're not seeing that. He's getting caught against the fence and getting pillared right now, and that's not where you want to be against Dustin Poirier, Cyrus.
No, look, honestly, TMF Noggin doing what TMF Noggin does absolutely best. He likes to turn up the pressure. Very, very high, Jay, and gets a little bit wild with it at times. Arnold Allen, on the other hand, trying to stay a little bit composed, but seems to be eating a lot of big shots early from a heavy hitter.
Yeah, I don't want to eat shots from Dustin Poirier if I'm Arnold Allen. If anybody, not Dustin.
But that's a little bit better from him, right? Set there in some counters. Arnold Allen hitting like a Mack truck right there. Mr. Humbledink able to sit down Dustin Poirier, even if it was only momentarily.
Yeah, definitely. And he's going to try and hunt his opponent right now because he's walking into shots, but Noggin's had some success. If I'm Noggin, I stick with the same game plan. I'm trying to get some of that bleed through. And I'm just going to try and preempt some of the shots that are coming from Cass and, you know, not throw too much stuff that he's going to realise and counter me. But Cass, he's got good IQ, as it says in his name. He's trying his best to kind of pick his shots. He's done just that with your favourite fighter, Jay Dan.
Yeah, and I like how you said he got IQ, like it says in his name. You thought you was clever with that one, Humble.
It says Y as well. Is it a V? I can't see, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, it is IQY, IQY. But no, he finds himself on the mat now. I think this is a good mix-up from him, Jay. Having a bit of adversity on the feet. Did land some good shots, got some respect back, so now was a great time to test his opponent out, especially with only a minute left in this first round.
Yeah, this is smart to test him on the ground because Dustin boxing is crazy, but Arnold was having some success on the feet too.
He definitely was, and now he's against the fence, and this is kind of a good position for Arnold to test the waters. Cass has got an opportunity to kind of choose the body, the takedown, or the head. And I love that position, but he gets the reversal right there. Good head positioning, goes for the takedown, and gets a hip on against the cage. Beautiful work right there, Cyrus.
Yeah, doing a great job, and the reversal as well. That was a good bit of composure from him to switch it up very, very quickly and get some top position. Just letting his opponent know, Jay, that he can do some damage in these positions as well.
Yeah, and do we agree that Arnold Allen won that round?
Sure. I'm not a judge, J-Time, but I can remember more.
Listen to me though. Stevie Wonder seen that he won that round because he had a knockdown that round.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, you'd suspect so, but we've seen crazier things happen. We've seen crazier things happen, but I don't think he's out of it by any means as well. And I think it was a lot closer. Even if you've just got a knockdown on the cards, I think everything else was neck and neck throughout that fight.
Mm-hmm. Very, very close round. It's just the knockdown is what separated that.
Definitely. Look at the damage as well, Cyrus. Cass has taken a lot at the moment, especially on that head health.
Yeah, he really has. You can see that the damage, but honestly, he is also landing a decent amount when he can, and the damage isn't looking like 100% different, right? He's got a slight disadvantage, but these takedowns, I feel like, are still what's going to cause a world of difference.
Good IQ.
Okay, did he get... Oh, I thought he was going to get top mount. I was like, it froze for a second. I was like, did he get it?
Yeah, I think he waited a bit too long, and he gets reversed again. Good positioning from Noggin. Noggin needs to be careful here that he doesn't be fierce and get reversed immediately from Cass. He does have a top position, but I was about to say, good work from Allen to kind of take him down and change the fight. But at the same time, now Noggin is showing you, I'm no slouch on the ground either, Cyrus.
No, definitely not. Definitely no slouch. Like I said, I think both guys well representing their skills all round so far. And, like I said, just kind of chipping away at their opponent's confidence and showing that they're game absolutely everywhere, which is important, Jay, because you don't want to feel like, or you don't want your opponent to feel like they've got an advantage in any one particular area.
Yeah, that's why it's very important to be very well-rounded, because this isn't boxing. This is mixed martial arts. Oh, with the uppercut.
A nice work across the body. He's going to try to get him back against the fence. And this is the difference, isn't it? Where I always talk about this in fights, J-Time, is when you've got your opponent kind of backed up against the fence, it's much more high risk to get knocked down near the fence because they have some extra damage they can kind of land against that fence, and it puts them in a better position. Whereas you're out in the open, you've got that uppercut to kind of help you and defend you from getting completely killed.
Yeah, you don't ever want to be against that fence. That's why I love when people circle out, because that's not where you want to be. You don't want to be trapped there with someone like Dustin Poirier on you.
Man, he is not getting dissuaded though, Humble. Just pressing forward, landing some shots, trying to get back out at distance. Cass is very, very game till the very end.
Yeah, he gets caught right now, and he's good. Oh, nice pull. He's not got the stamina. He needed to kind of be wary there, though, that he didn't have the actual, the repertoire to kind of throw that elbow from the pull, but he's looking for it. You can see it, and Noggin's starting to realise now and go back to the body. Good work from Noggin. Good switch up in his game plan right there, Cyrus.
Yeah, definitely so, definitely so. If your opponent is blocking high, go low. Make them drop those hands and then go back up top, Jay. He knocks him out.
Arnold is dead. Dustin Poirier has killed Arnold Allen. My boy Arnold Allen isn't so almighty after all. Great win, Dustin Poirier, man. I'm hurt, Humble.
But as hurt as you are, Noggin is definitely not hurt, and he gets a second round KO and puts his he needed a big win, and exactly what he got right there. He's going to move to 3-5 right now. He's not a bad competitor. He's always there. He's always in the fight. He's always doing really well. And today he's shown that he showed good ring IQ. And what did I say about the fence? When he gets his opponent against the fence, he's allowed to land the extra damage, which results in a KO, J-Time.
Yes, sir. You said it best. And like I said, you don't ever want to be trapped on that cage. And a lot of people don't know that they do it, but they back straight up in a straight line and they get stuck on that cage, and that's why they get finished, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right, brother. Exactly right. I just, once again, these guys just delivering each and every time in this cage. We have a fantastic main card still ahead of us. That's only the prelims, Humble. There's only one change to the graphic, which is LW Ernesto is now going to be fighting Lepo. previous LW member for that matter, and in fact, he might still be. We'll get confirmation from the back. Apologies if that's the case. But yeah, these guys are going to be mixing it up next in the first fight of the main card, which is going to be a fantastic one, Humble. But there are some incredible fights as a whole. Which one are you two looking forward to the most?
Oh, definitely the Pug versus Gold fight. We seen Gold fight last night, and he was absolutely spectacular in his performance. J-Dime, he came out there last night like a man possessed, and he's going to be fighting Pug, who likes to set up his head kicks. He likes to set up the body work. He has good wrestling, but he's mainly a striker, so that's going to be a fantastic fight. What are you looking forward to? I kind of already know, J-Dime, but what's the...
How do you know?
Because I think you've already told us, but that co-main event for me, I think it's the same one as yourself. But yeah, talk about that one.
Man, Leon Stoltz. I remember watching him last week. He fought really patient. I forgot who he went against, but I remember watching. I was like, oh, he's really good. He fight really patient, and I loved it. And Ripe MMA, another undefeated fighter. I've seen him fight a few times. And like you said, somebody's O has got to go.
Yeah, definitely. It could be potentially number one contenders fight for that belt as well. Might not be exactly, but I believe they're ranked 6th and 5th at the moment, so as high as you can possibly get. And you've got Phil for Uncle Ben up there with the Eagle Fly as well, and Johnny. Those guys are all knocking on the door. And to go 5-0 in the PlayStation division at the moment is nothing but impeccable, because the current champion's only 6-0, J-Dime. So you're one off. So that could be a great title fight between two undefeated prospects, and someone's always got to go in the future as well. So I don't know, this could, depending on the performance, this could be definitely a title eliminator.
Yeah, man. And sometimes I just be sad because someone O has got to go. It looks cool when you see all these undefeated fighters, but they got to fight each other.
Yeah, they definitely do, and you've just got to give credit to the matchmakers in Fighternator as well, in doing a fantastic job of matching these guys up. When they're at the top and the building the records like that, there's no easy fights, and that's exactly what Fighternator's done right there. He's put two undefeated prospects against each other, and there's another fight on the card today, which I'm absolutely stoked for. It's going to be TFA Dragon versus Mix-Ups. Mix-Ups is a fantastic fighter. This is a heavyweight, so we know that Mix-Ups likes to fight and he likes to throw brilliant combinations. It's going to be a bit slower to this. It's going to be interesting to see what type of stuff they can get going, J-Dime.
Yeah, and like I said, Mix-Ups is one of my favorites. I think Mix-Ups is really good, so I want to see how he fares against TFA Dragon. I gotta, you know what I'm saying, Humble? I gotta see.
Yeah, 100%. And I think this season Mix-Ups has done all right, but he's 6-2 at the moment, and I believe he's number 6 in the division, which is not too bad. And he's going to be fighting Dragon today, and Dragon will be up there as well. I think Dragon at the moment is currently ranked number 9 with 5-2. So these two are very highly contested and put together. And they've beat some top contenders as well amongst that division, so another fight in the Xbox division that's going to push these guys up towards fighting maybe in the main event in the future against a Fighternator or a Trixie or a Caliber or a Dirty Dave. There's some big fights ahead for one of these two guys.
Yeah, man, you said potentially face Fadinator. I think Fadinator the boogeyman right now over there. Like, right now, he looks unbeatable on that side. Like, seriously, like his last few performances were a work of art, Hubble. He looked, I'm not gonna lie, he looked invincible.
Yeah, and I'll throw it back to Cyrus as well. I was going to buy an Xbox and come over to the Xbox division until I watched Fadinator's reign, and I decided against it. This guy is the boogeyman. He does put the living craps into people, and that's exactly what he's been doing. But tonight there's going to be a main event with Trixie and Caliber, who are going to be trying to get it, and we know that Trixie's knocking on the door. We know about the history between him and Fadinator, and Caliber's going to be trying to upset that one. So it is going to be a fantastic main event we've got this evening, Cyrus, but I think we might be ready for the next fight.
Yeah, I think that they're just ready now. I don't know if they're in a bit of sparring. I hope they're not actually in their fight, because they might have got a little bit ahead of themselves if that's the case. They're just getting set up, I do believe, and hopefully we will be able to get into a Nesto up against AJS Assassinino, which apparently has come back short notice, is what I've just heard from the back, but I'm hoping that they're not just in it. We're just going to hear a couple of seconds from the back. But what we'll do for a moment is we'll just take a very short interlude, get a little bit of information on what's going on between this in this fight, and of course we'll continue with this main card. Grab your popcorn, take your toilet break, get your drinks, and whatever else you like to partake in. Enjoy the rest of this evening. Incredible fights to come. We will be back after a very, very short intermission. And we are back at it. Primetime 55, main card is still ahead of us. Mr. Humbledink, J Dime in the commentary booth along with myself, Cyrus the Looney. We have AJS Assassinino up against Ernesto LW is the moniker. An incredible fight. They were actually jumping straight into it. They got a little bit too eager here, Humble, but we're now back at it. They are lobbied up and raring to go with Benil Dariush up against Michael Chandler in this main card starting fight.
100%. You said they're raring to go and jumping at it, but they were in the back fighting. That's where they were in the cage. They were actually punching each other as they were before they were walking out, and we had to separate these two guys and restart a fight that was going on. You guys still get to see it. We get to watch it as well. But these guys are jumping. I love that pick as well. Benil Dariush is such a fantastic pick in this division. It's something we don't see too much of, so it'll be interesting how he fares against Ernesto. But Ernesto is such a calculated competitor, J Dime. He's so fantastic with everything he does and so calculated. So it'll be interesting to see how he uses Michael Chandler and that power as well.
I'm just so surprised with the Benil Dariush pick because he's a good player. He's a good fighter, but I don't see many people pick him for some reason. But he'll have to worry about the power of Michael Chandler, Cyrus.
Yeah, I think a lot of people pick with their favorites, right? Who they like in real life. And Dariush is a fantastic fighter, but a little bit understated. He doesn't talk the talk, so to speak. He just walks the walk, Humble. And that maybe has meant that he's a little bit lower down on certain people's radars. But it looks like here this evening, AJS Assassinino well knows his abilities and looks to fully showcase that up against a dangerous Michael Chandler.
He's really pumping the jab out there at the moment. And, congratulations to Michael Chandler in real life as well, who's just adopted another baby. And he's going to take him down right now. Yep, he's going to take him down right now. Gets in a half guard and stops the transition. And this is interesting. He's against a world champion to jiu-jitsu practitioner, but it doesn't mean shit on this game, as Chandler is a Division 1 wrestler. And he's going to try and posture up and land some ground and pound at the moment. J-Dime.
Yeah, this is a Division 1 All-American wrestler. You forgot to say that when you said, ooh. Yep. When he went to the ground, you forgot to say that. You act like he had CM Punk on top of him talking about it don't mean nothing in this game, Humble.
It's you don't want to be the guard of Benil Dariush. He's dangerous. He's same as Charles Oliveira. It's just a dangerous position, Cyrus.
Yeah, it definitely is. He's an all-round, incredibly talented, competitor. Got the ability to knock you out on the feet and submit you on the mat, whether it be at top or bottom. But obviously, Ernesto using that Michael Chandler pick, there's so much power, short, compact style here, explosive wrestling, active kind of transitioning, from position to position here, Jay, and of course, always has heat seekers in those hands.
Yeah, he got missiles in them hands. You know what they call him? They call him Iron Michael Chandler. I don't agree with the nickname because there's only one Iron, and that's Mike Tyson. But they call him Iron Michael Chandler, Humble.
Yeah, it's just because of that one-punch knockout power. And I remember when he fought in 2000, and I think it was about 12 when he fought in the Alvarez. Beautiful shot to the body right there. He's going to try and finish him right now from Benil Dariush. But this guy likes slugfests. He likes to put it on him. He's had some mad wars, and he's also had some big wins as well. He knocked out Dan Hooker with that one-shot, Cyrus, and great work if he throws those hook combinations.
Yeah, exactly right. I do really, really like what I am seeing from Dariush right here, Jay. I have to say those straight shots, the fundamental striking are really, really paying off for him in the opening 4 minutes of this round. And if he's able to continue with that success, he may be onto a bit of a winner as he stops this takedown.
But that's good takedown defense.
Yeah.
But also, I'm worried about going to second round Michael Chandler's stamina because he doesn't have the best cardio, Humble.
No, he doesn't. You're right. It's a good point. And, if he keeps getting... If Assassinino, you calculates this right, he can really make Michael Chandler overexert. It looks like they're about even at the moment, but the head health is worrying.
Definitely worrying, Humble. I mean, that head health almost was non-existent as Dariush continues to land. I mean, when this kid gets some momentum, he seems to be running away with it. AJS Assassinino looking as dangerous as ever here this evening, here, Jay. Although he cannot count out Michael Chandler quite yet, that man, as we said a moment ago, hits way too freaking hard.
Yeah, he hits like a bus. Michael Chandler is one of the most explosive, if not the most explosive in the 155 division.
And he's barely took any head health right there, Cyrus. He clipped him with a slip hook right there. It doesn't really catch it fully. With that caught fully.
Look, but Neil has said that he was doing some, kind of chin drills following the Diego Sanchez sort of. Yeah, he was, man. He was, he was getting chin checked here and there. He was, whatever it was, and it was standing the test of time. It's obviously been paying off as he's eating these shots from Chandler like nothing, and it's meant that he's just able to impose his will anytime he wants. If it's on the feet he wants it, that's where it is, and if it's on the mat he wants it, he takes it there as well, Humble, and he knocks him out, brother.
It's over.
Great performance right there. Dominant on the feet as well, and then takes it to the ground and adds some great ground and pound. And Ernesto couldn't do much there apart from take that punishment. And AJ's Assassinino moves up in the division, and he gets an important win right there. Moves him to 3-2, and that's going to help him kind of progress in the Xbox division, and the all-competitive Xbox division, Cyrus. It's so tough out there.
It is. I mean, the Xbox division was the first division. It's the kind of formation of the league, right? The PlayStation has been around for, I think, a year or so now, and it's been flourishing and growing massively over that time. But the Xbox division is quite established at this stage, definitely. And you see that these guys are so closely contended. A lot of these guys are very familiar with each other, competing over the span of 4 years or so at this stage there, Jay. And, obviously, within kind of these smaller communities as a whole, the UFC 4 community as a whole, I'm talking about one of more of a niche title, you get very familiar with names, and it means that you can get very familiar with the styles and the problems that they present.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better myself, and a great performance by Beneil Dariush there.
That
it was indeed, and I was going to pass it straight back to you, Cyrus, as we move on, I believe, to the next fight.
Yeah, exactly right, brother. That was the first fight of the main card here this evening. Up next, we've got another two very, very dangerous opponents, a fan-friendly favorite, and a guy that writes all of the intros for us here at Primetime MMA that get us so hyped leading into these epic cards that we put on Fridays and Saturdays each week. We're going to be having TMM's very own Reaper, the owner and founder of the league, looking to represent himself, his camp, and his entire nation here this evening as he takes on one of the dangerous, kind of savvy vets of the community here, Humble, in GSP is GOAT.
Yeah, definitely. I've known Rishi for a long time as well. GSP is GOAT. He's a top competitor. He's been around most of the leagues. At first, it's kind of got to know him in the Brawler Bash leagues and the Cage Rage leagues and a few other leagues. And he's 2-1 at the moment. He likes to grapple. He likes to strike. He likes to mix it up. I think his the favorite pick, as you can see, his name is GSP. I'm just checking now to see where this one is actually situated. It is in welterweight, so he's going to get to pick his favorite character in GSP. And Reaper's got to mind that because, I don't know if Reaper picked on and actually banned GSP, which would have been the smart move, Cyrus, or J Dime, sorry. But if he doesn't, GSP is a fantastic, and he plays that kind of character like Moroccan Lion plays Moroccan Lion, essentially.
Did you say he played that character like Moroccan Lion plays Moroccan Lion?
Yep, every day. He only plays with GSP, was what I was about to say.
I thought you meant that they have the same fight style.
Oh, no.
That's what I thought you said, Humble.
I'm not disrespecting Rishi like that. But I am disrespecting the Rock and Lamb joking. We move on to the next fight.
You wasn't joking.
As we move on to the next fight, here we go. Reaper, he's had a bit of a bad time at the moment. I know we were supposed to fight a few times, and every time I've won, he's lost. Every time I've lost, he's not fought, or etc. And he's gone 4-7 in the division at the moment. He's fighting top guys, but he needs to put a performance in tonight because he's fighting a 2-1 veteran who's on the up and coming and is really good at mixing it up. So be interested to see how Reaper approaches this one. He's got his pick at Covey Company. He loves this pick, Cyrus.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like with TMM Reaper, he has all of the skills. He has the mental fortitude to get the job done. It's about whether or not he's able to dial himself back, kind of like I mentioned earlier, like an early Justin Gaethje. He just fights in a way that is friendly to the fans, but not necessarily conducive to a positive record. He's taking this fight very seriously here, Jay, and seems to be riding out the position very, very well. This has got to be a little bit daunting for McGregor, especially in the early going, where that's typically his best round.
Yeah, Colby Covington started this match well. He put this on the ground immediately. He didn't even stand up to trade with Conor, power versus power. He don't even care to do that. He put him on the ground where he wanted to be at, Humble.
I've got to say, finally, Reaper's using Colby Covington now. You bloody should use Colby Covington. I fought Reaper with his Colby Covington, and he didn't shoot for one single takedown in the entire fight, and it kind of frustrated me because I want to play the character I was supposed to be using. He's doing that exactly now. But great move from GSP. He's going to take his back. I might be eating my words, Cyrus.
No. He gets position back again. This is the thing about Colby Covington. Nice. He doesn't mind being active through these positions. Once again, McGregor gets him with a lovely little bit of GA, and the top mount gets reversed, Jay. Look how active these guys are transitioning on the mat.
Man, I'm just impressed. Connor's doing what he's doing on this ground right now. Connor reversing these. He told me he was training with Hamza and Darren Till. He swallowed his pride. That's what he told me, Humble.
Yeah, this looks like a pillow fight from WWE back in the day between Trish Stratus and Stacey Kimbler or something. These guys are rolling around on the floor like who knows what. There is no sort of moment where they are holding each other
really
and the pillows are flying. I am bro. It was non-stop reversal after reversal. It was beautiful to watch, just like the old days.
Beautiful to watch.
Yeah. An interesting comparison, but nevertheless, they are back on their feet and now throwing absolute bombs. He does get clipped with that left hand, and that's got to be a bit of a warning shot across the bow here, Jay. The left hand of McGregor is something you cannot sleep on for too many. Another one lands, brother.
Ooh. That's a weapon of mass destruction. That's what that is. The power difference between Colby Covington and Connor is great. So if I'm Colby, put him back on the mat, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. Reaper's got to really watch out for the stamina. I think that's why he's happy to be on the feet at the moment. He's better at conserving the stamina on the feet than he is on the ground sometimes. And you don't want to give Conor McGregor that advantage. But at the same time, you don't want to take too much damage as well while you're on the feet, taking those Conor McGregor's left hands to the face, as we'd say. Beautiful work from Reaper. Doesn't get a knock, though. The power's not there, Cyrus.
Yeah, it's not quite equal, right? Conor McGregor just quite clearly has more power in those hands, but one thing that Reaper has, in his favor is that he is the cardio machine. 100 stamina, Jay, for Colby Covington. So mixing in this grappling, pouring it on Conor McGregor just means that lactic acid is going to build up. This guy that's so explosive probably isn't going to be able to keep up that pace over the course of 15 minutes or even longer. So I think that a good game plan from Reaper that if he's able to continue to employ could wear out a Conor McGregor over the course of these 15.
I'm not going to lie to you, right? You know how you said the 100 cardio. I don't think that matters right now. Their cardio's close. That doesn't matter right now.
Not this very second, but it might matter. It might matter as things continue to spice up.
It's the first round starts is pretty much the same as the second round, but this time Covington get a big slam near his corner. Great work from Covington, and surprised GSP is good. Didn't expect that right there. Good posture up from Covington. He needs to stop the transitions. They were transitioning like mad. I was going dizzy in that first round, Jay Diamond. He needs to stop that and kind of keep some consistency on the ground on top.
He about to sweep him. I seen it. I seen he was about to sweep him. He got that denial, and he built up the grappler advantage on the top. I knew exactly what was about to happen right there. Connor's looking good on the ground, Humble.
Yeah, he is. Definitely is, Cyrus.
Yeah, GSP as GOAT is somebody that, honestly in the past has shown his savvy on the mat, and right now he's showing that he's willing to engage in these positions if he finds himself in a dominant one, doesn't want to completely disengage and just be shot on once again. Gets the back take here, Jay, with relative ease, and is stacking up a nice couple of seconds at this point, getting some good denials off in the process.
This is weird to see right now. I'm not going to lie to you. Watching Conor take Colby Covington back is crazy. And he's in top mount. This is crazy. Conor's been working on his grappling this much, Humble?
Yeah, well, GSP, he gets reversed again. And Reaper, Reaper's doing what Reaper wants to do, though. If you think about where the fight's taking place, it's much more into Covington's favor than it is McGregor. McGregor can't throw those luscious, beautiful combinations while he's on the ground. He's kind of playing at the Reaper's game at the moment, because even if he's grappling successfully, he's still grappling, Cyrus.
Yeah, honestly, it is. It's just in his wheelhouse, man. It's in his wheelhouse, and this is a much better approach from Reaper, because as you mentioned, man, we've seen him pick Colby Covington in the past and just go full hands, and that's not his style. It's not what's ultimately going to get his best results across the course of these fights, and we've seen that in terms of his record thus far of the season. This looks like a different Reaper here this evening, Jay. He looks focused, he looks calm, and he seems to be really, really calculated in the way that he's disarming his opponent.
Yeah. It looked like he didn't woke up. That's what it looked like. Because y'all telling me he had Kobe Covington not shooting. This is what he's been needing to do. Sometimes people want to keep it on the feet for too long, but you got to swallow your pride, put your ego to the side, and do what you have to do as Kobe Covington, humble.
Yeah, definitely. You're speaking of the master of disaster. We've got Zeus in the chat right now. It's exactly what he would do. Shout out to him. And that's what we're seeing right now. You're using your character how he should be used. And Reaper in the past wouldn't do that, and he would pay for that. And at the moment, how is GSP's the GOAT is going to knock him out while he was on his back? As I say that, the back to the feet, and Reaper's got to be careful right now because it could be a dominant round for him.
Yeah, I mean, look, he only has 15 seconds left on his clock, and he's engaging. That's crazy to me, Jay. That's crazy. Why would he engage? Why risk it?
I would back up for the final 5 seconds because he got caught. He was getting caught right when he got back to the feet. And he could have, listen, if one of them shots put him down, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Conor McGregor hits too hard. He hits too hard to ignore that. So he's got to mind it all, man. And as you rightly said, Jay, that 100 cardio did not play a massive factor because both guys have managed their stamina so well, but it starts out much like it did in the last one, Humble. Quick takedown from Reaper, finds himself in another, favorable position to his game plan here this evening.
Yeah, and you can see, as you mentioned, the car. Oh, beautiful sweep. GSP's GOAT. He's got to try to disengage without being too obvious right now. And, Reaper's trying to build the grappling advantage right there. And just a note as well, these two do live quite far apart from each other, but usually the ping's absolutely fine. So just a quick note that might be affecting the actual fight. But back on top, wrestling. This is what Khabib managed to do to Conor. He shot onto Conor. Conor defended the takedown, and then Khabib just kept shooting. He kept reversing. He kept grappling. He kept going. And eventually, when he gets that top position, he's going to have better control because Conor is not a grappler. And that's exactly what Reaper's doing at the moment. He's sticking like glue to his opponents.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving this approach, Jay, from Colby Covington here this evening. Reaper,
nice.
Just doing it all, man, mixing it together. He's now got an advantage on GSP as GOAT, and that means that these exchanges on the feet are a little bit more viable, but you think that the takedown is definitely something he's eagerly looking for once again.
Nice work, Coach.
I'm not going to lie to you, Colby Covington, he's fighting well. He just need to not get caught. Don't let your ego make you trade with Conor McGregor, humble.
Yeah, because that first round was close. That first round was super close, and Covington got reversed a few times. It was a very, very close round, so we don't know who's winning. It's still up for question mark at the moment. It could be 1-1, it could be 2-0 to Reaper. We don't know. This round is going to determine essentially who's going to win the fight.
Crazy.
Oh wow!
Listen, when you throw that kick to the head, you gotta angle yourself. Oh my gosh!
Can he hang on?
That's the problem with Conor McGregor on the feet. My God, can that guy hit? But he gets clipped by the tornado.
Didn't take anything. Didn't take no head health.
nothing behind it.
It did nothing.
360 roundhouse kicked him in the head, and he literally just stood there and like, oh, what's that? Nice work though. And this is what I mean. Reaper needs to handle. Let's talk about the importance of this. Reaper has dropped the ball in the third quarter many times in his fights, and that's why he's 4-7 at the moment. And right now is the most important time in his primetime career. He could shoot for a takedown, and it's exactly what he does right there.
It looks like Edge with the spear. That's what it looked like.
He gets this denial as well. He's going to try and do some damage right now.
Oh, those are some silky smooth denials, doing very, very well. Does regain half guard, does Conor McGregor, but now the ground and pound once again available from Colby Chaos Covington. Reaper doing a fantastic job of committing to this game plan, not being dissuaded by the offense from Conor, and he seems to be riding out the end of this round. Who wins it? Anybody's guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. There's a rock in this round. There is a close and back. There's a back and forth battle all around.
That's interesting.
It's how you judge that first round, and obviously the fifth round. I'm sorry, third round's really close as well. But it's how you judge that, and look at the highlights at the moment going in Conor's favour in the first. Reaper gets the second. I think we all know Reaper won the second, right?
Yeah.
It's just the first and the third are very big question marks, and whoever the judges give it to at the moment, I think if Reaper loses this fight, he's going to be disappointed.
With these judges, I don't know. Don't know with these judges. So anything could happen right here, guys.
Body language right there from Conor McGregor. He doesn't look like he's won a fight.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Kobe got his hand
Split
up.
decision. The notorious Conor McGregor.
Oh my days. Don't believe it.
The notorious. God,
I mean,
looked like
it was a close fight. It was a close fight. Like
Conor body language.
Yeah, the fight's based on damage, and if we think about it, like the Rock in the third round, we always say the third round dictates the fight, and Reaper's going to be upset with that one because I feel like Reaper had his best performance there. Reaper had a fantastic performance against a guy who's currently coming up in the division who's 2-1, and he did everything right in my opinion, apart from overexert himself in the striking exchanges when he didn't need to. Cyrus, we talked about it so many times, and that discipline is so hard to keep. It's ego over entertainment, and you've got to put your ego aside if you want to win these fights against top competitors.
Yeah, maybe after that second round, right, the confidence was surging a little bit. Thought that he was running away with the fight. There was a couple of moments where his hands were down after throwing a combination, and his opponent just got 1 or 2 free shots off. And this is the thing, man. It's tough to keep that focus across the entire fight, especially when your opponent is continuing to adapt and present you with different problems. Like you said, I think Reaper probably had his best performance in the cage, and he didn't get dubbed. He's won many times in the cage, but this is one of his better performances, in all honesty. He looked fantastic here this evening. I think that grappling mix-up was something I would definitely like to see more out of him with there, Jay, but once again, brother, just setting us up beautifully. First decision of the evening, but an entertaining fight nevertheless. Moving on to the next one, TFA Pug up against Gold. These two savages are set to go for 15 minutes on this main card. At welterweight, Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman seems to be who's on the cards here this evening.
I think Jim might have just took a quick break right there, but there's been some fantastic performances of late, and I can't remember who he fought, but I know I watched Gold fight last night, and it was against a top competitor, and it was an absolute fantastic fight. But this is the one I called for, Jay. This is the fight that I said was going to be one of my most interesting fights on the card. TFA the Pug versus Gold is going to be an incredible fight. Gold is coming off a high win that he got last night, and the Pug's always entertaining. He's always throwing crazy kicks. He's always throwing crazy stuff. But he's picked Usman today, which is an interesting pick.
So how do you think he fights with Usman, Humble?
Takedowns.
And not how he's supposed to fight. How do you think he's going to fight?
He's got to stick behind that jab. He's got a 5-star jab, and I think he's got a 5-star straight as well, if I'm correct. And
he does.
You can take more damage than your opponent as long as you land some certain clean shots. You're gonna do big damage and big effect in those vulnerable opportunities. But like I said, takedown.
He's already on a good denial.
This is the thing with Kamaru Usman, man. He smashes people. Like, when he's winning, he often just doesn't even make it look competitive. He gets the takedown almost at will. The guy fights on compromised knees, which a lot of people don't realize. A lot of this is mental with Kamaru Usman. And, obviously it speaks volumes to his style. The guy can't do sprints. He can't do runs like that. So, just absolute mental fortitude, putting Leon Edwards in his least favorable position very, very early.
If I'm Gold, I wouldn't be comfortable being there. I think he stood there. He stayed there taking them body shots and sprawl for a little too long, Cyrus.
Yeah, it's especially like somebody like Pug as well. Humble, you've seen it time in, time out. Pug really is an educated striker, uses that jab well, which is going to go well with Kamaru Usman, but also has an incredible top game that, when he's able to get it going, can be rivaled with the best.
Oh, nice. His Gold is sticking that jab in his face right now like a piston. He's getting it out there and making the Pug react, and you see it there because he slipped his head off the centre line. But beautiful work to go for a takedown in range, gets into half guard, and now Pug's going to have to do some work right now and stay on top for longer than he did in that round. Although he's racking up some points right now, he's going to want to put some pressure and damage onto Gold in this one, J-Dime.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want to be right there if I'm Leon Edwards. He's had some good denials from his back, but this is Kamaru Usman game right now, Humble.
Yeah, it definitely is. And, well, you've got to think, Kamaru Usman's game is a bit of stand-up, a bit of ground, a bit of clinch. He's got a bit of everything, and that's what makes him so good. He's dangerous everywhere. Like, I've just texted Leon Edwards a second ago while Cyrus was talking, saying, just kick his legs, kick his knees. If he's got bad legs and bad knees, just kick them. I know how bad that feels because I've got the same, but, ACL tears and stuff. Just kick them legs. But it's not going to be as simple as that in this fight, and he's going to have to get up on his feet if he wants a chance to win this fight, but also not overexert himself trying to do so, Cyrus. It's a balance you've got to play. It's a thin line.
Yeah, and I have to say, Leon Edwards has actually been very defensively sound, eating a lot of body shots here, which is definitely going to stack up. But
he should go in a half guard. I'm not going to lie, he should go in a half guard from here.
He's got other positions as well. He can try and put his opponent closer to the fence to get up, but he does get a stand-up. But how much damage should he take from Usman there?
Yeah. That's right. I mean, he was looking good on the feet, so as long as he can stay poised, stay calm and composed here, Jay, he could start to get some big damage off. And as we saw in the last fight, a lot of the time the damage is what the the judges are looking at. And there's still 30 seconds, which is plenty of time to land some big ass shots with somebody like Leon.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you what's protecting Leon, guys. Leon has the highest body health in this division with a 96 body health.
Okay.
Because he's taking them shots, but his health may be a little higher than what others would be after taking them body shots for that long, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. You know what that is, don't you? Them planks, that core work that he's been doing left, right, and centre, and you know the long frame he's got doesn't matter because Leon Edwards can take that. But these two have fought before. It went kind of similar to how we're watching it right now. Good work from Pug to mix it up. Even though Real had some of his moments in that fight, there was very little significant strikes. And a lot of the damage or a lot of the work came from Usman in top control, Cyrus.
Yeah, and look, that was some of the criticism of Kamaru Usman early on in the career, right? Is that he was winning in dominant fashion, but maybe not, kind of fully turning it up on some of the opponents. But as you see here this evening, it's a very, very effective style that can slowly chip away at your opponents, disarm them entirely, Jay, which puts you in a position where you're really not taking any damage and just continually moving millimeter by millimeter towards that victory. And that seems to be Pug's game plan, and it's working, man. It's working so far.
Yeah, the fans may not like this, but this is dominance. This is what Kamaru Usman is great at right here, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly, man. And he is, using those short kind of bunny shots, if you will, to build up GA, utilizing well-timed transitions, Humble, to advance position, and obviously just giving Leon Edwards, giving Real Gold a lot of issues in the second round and in the first. There's a lot of time left on that clock, man.
Yeah, it is, and I can see Gold getting impatient at the moment, so can Pug, and that's kind of what he's capitalising on. He's trying to make his opponent, good block right there from Pug. He's trying to make his opponent be obvious, and that's exactly what Gold's kind of doing at the moment. He's giving away easy transitions, and the Pug's capitalising on that. And that's going to put him in a worse position. Oh, good denial for the crucifix. Really important right there, Cyrus.
Yeah, incredibly important. That would have been a dire position to find yourself in, especially with so much time left on the clock. Kamaru Usman dominant in any top position. Honestly, these short bunny shots, Jay, are just playing dividends for him, and his denials are on point, man. They are shutting down Leon Edwards' ability to get up from these positions.
Yeah, and here's the problem. Leon is content. Like, I don't think he would have attempted a transition if he would have kept punching him to the body there. That's the problem, too.
Right now, back take right there, gets a denial, gets a and this is really dangerous now. You see them legs in the air, he's got no balance, no way to move, and he's going to get choked out if he's not careful. The hand's going underneath the chin, he switches it over, he's trying to hand fight Jay Diamond, he just manages to stop it.
Oh, I'm not going to lie to you. This is a bad spot to be at if I'm Leon, and like you said, he's getting impatient because he's spent the whole fight here. For real, Cyrus.
Yeah, he has, man. This has been an absolute onslaught from TFA the Pug. Slow, calculated style, chipping away at his opponent, now turning it up, trying to look for the finish, but the defense of Leon Edwards is enough to keep him in this fight, enough to keep him relatively safe, but nevertheless, Humble, just not enough to be able to amount any sort of meaningful offense in return.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to kind of throw some stuff out there that's going to catch your opponent coming in for a takedown, right? You've got to make him think about it. There's got to be some uppercuts. There's got to be some push kicks to the face. There's got to be some shots that, if your opponent went for a takedown, that could potentially knock him out to kind of deter him from doing that. But Pug's done a great job to kind of get ahead in those last two rounds, I believe, that he has done. And going at the third round, he's got to be the more confident fighter as they have glitched out.
Oh, my. Why?
listen to me, UFC.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was good.
That's crazy. Hey, it's like deja vu. I seen this happen yesterday. Like I literally watched the same thing happen yesterday.
What are the chances, brother? What are the chances?
I mean, if it was a technical, like, it's not fair for us to call a decision, even if it goes to the third round. Because
it's 2-0 right now.
It is.
It's 2-0.
But how many times have we seen a comeback? And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know what to do in this position.
This is tough because if you restart, say you restart this, right?
It's not fair
Leon-
with either guy either. It's not fair.
Listen,
with
it's
either
not.
guy.
Leon can make some adjustment, like, and then
Yeah.
it's
And the Pug's got to be pissed because he's got ahead in this fight and he's done really, really well. And usually it's a restart and no contest. But what if he comes out and gets finished in the next fight? He's going to be annoyed. And if we just have a rematch this next week, no one's going to be getting a win because no one technically won the fight. The job's not being done, Cyrus. And that's the problem we have at the moment. And that's this game has kind of robbed either guy there from producing in what was a pretty dominant fight for Pug.
Yeah, 100%. I think that what we'll have to do on this one is that we do have a fair few fights left on this evening. We will skip forward to the next one, leave the guys in the back, have a little bit of a chat with the competitors, and in and amongst themselves, see what the decision comes to on how we can proceed forward with that one. Very, very unfortunate, like you guys said, on either end of the table. Unfortunately, especially on live broadcasted events, these things cannot, unfortunately, be... they can't be helped at times, right? They can't be helped. So we'll see what these guys say. Obviously, I'm sure they can have a little chat with the competitors, see how they feel it went, because you never know, man. I'm sure maybe they want to run it back, maybe they don't, and we will see how that all plays out. But very, very unfortunate, right? Let's not let that, though, have a sour taste in our mouth as we continue with what has been otherwise an incredible night of fights. We have a fight that was on both of your radars low-key for this evening. TFA Dragon up against Mix-Ups, which is going to be the fight that we're going to pull up now as we find out what happens with the last one. How about you guys lead us into this one? I'll try to you, Humble. These two competitors, they're interesting ones, my man. They're interesting ones for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I know Jay Dime is a good friend of Mix-Ups, and he's always talking about how he loves his striking, and deservedly so. Currently 6-2 in the Xbox division, ranked number 6. Right just below Dirty Dave right there, and Caliber and Trixie. He's knocking on the door. I believe he's fought for a title against Fadinator, came up short, which is one of his losses, and he's going to be wanting to be still in the mix as he takes on 5-2 in Crazy Dragon, ranked number 9. Crazy Dragon on a bit of a tear at the moment, doing a fantastic job in that division, and this one is really neck and neck for rankings, Jay Dime. But as for styles and the way these two fight, it's going to be interesting to see how these two approach it.
Yeah, and then if I'm Mix-Ups, because remember the loss he took to Fadinator, he wants to work his way right back up to that title. So it's easy to look ahead, be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get another title shot soon. But I hope he's not underestimating his opponent, because TFA Dragon's a monster, Humble.
Yeah, he is, and Dragon last fight he took on Maceo and got the finish in the second round by KO. He's got some big wins on his record over people like Jake Paul and some other people in the division, Cyrus, and that's what's going to he's going to want to do today. He's going to want to get an emphatic finish. It's going to be a close fight, but one of these guys can put a stamp on this fight. They push themselves almighty closer to that title shot that they're both wanting.
Yeah, exactly, man. At any point in primetime MMA, whether you be uned or ed, every single fight matters, and matters, increasingly so as you progress up those rankings. These guys now find themselves in a main card spot, high up in their positioning, with an opportunity to not only secure themselves another win in that column, to move themselves that one step closer, like you said, to primetime gold, but to get themselves noticed by the fans there, Jay, the supporters, everybody that really, really builds up the hype for these fights, and kind of the reason that we do this thing. So getting that infamy is key, I feel, for these guys as they go into this one. Big stakes at play for both competitors, as we see a fake glove touch into a takedown. Goddamn.
Oh, hey, he was not playing off the break, Cyrus.
Yeah, Mix-Ups is angry here this evening. TFA Dragon is very dangerous in all positions, a guy that definitely does not mind doing it on the mat. I mean, I said in his last one, I think, maybe not his exact last one, but the guy took him down, I said, well, that's a mistake. Mix-Ups, on the other hand, is definitely able to hold his own on the mat with really anybody on the game, and feels like if he's able to get Dragon down here early, he may have an advantage, but that might be a mistake, Humble.
Oh, he's got a saddle straight away as well. Beautiful work there from Dragon as he gets the reversal, and that's going to put you in check every single time. Does get a stand up from, what his game plan is if he stands up from there, though. He's just give his game plan away, and then actually overemphasized it and said, I want to stand and bang Mix-Ups, and Mix-Ups is not about that life, Jet Time. He mixes it up. It's exactly what's in his name. And if you're going to mix it up with someone, there's no one better to mix it up with than the GOAT of the UFC in general, is John Jones, with those unorthodox striking, essentially.
Oh man, those calf kicks, they're really interrupting they're really interrupting Dragon's forward momentum. They seem to be streaming from some sort of microwave. I don't know what's going on at the moment. The quality isn't fantastic. Hopefully it's stable.
They were streaming out the oven.
yeah, probably, bro. Gas cooking on it.
Nice kick there, takes him down, and Time's going to get the big slam here. Whoa, as you said, the WWE in the house tonight.
Nice work. I mean, look, mix-ups, man. When he finds himself in these positions, it's just very daunting for his opponents, especially when there's a considerable amount of time left on the clock, just like this. You've seen this before, Jay. Just a tough man to get off you. He's on you like glue, bro. Like glue.
He's a wet blanket right now. That's what he is right now.
Look, as we're seeing the stakes rise, some competitors continue to live by that, high risk, high reward sort of style to gain the fans' favor. But Mix-Ups here this evening was happy to take the role of the heel humble, put out the hand for the glove touch, shot under for the double leg, and now is absolutely riding out second on second to top control. However, he does get reversed once more by TFA's Dragon.
He got an advantage, didn't he? He got that first 4 minutes under the bag. It looks like he's kind of maybe a close fight. That's exactly what you need to kind of win it, And it's an interesting game plan, but I don't touch anyone's gloves. This is the reason I don't touch anyone's gloves. And people get mad at me for not touching people's gloves, but you never know what's around the corner, and you've got to keep your wits about you, as you always say, Cyrus, and that's exactly what Dragon didn't do. And Dragon finds himself in an interesting position because now he's trying to pepper him back to try and win back a round that he potentially might have lost, and Mix-Ups is taking some of his own medicine right there. Good denial. This is a close fight. It really is.
Look, I'm telling you, we haven't seen this before from Mix-Ups, and I feel like it's because he knows... He knows how dangerous Dragon is, man. I'm telling you, Dragon is low-key slept on in all leagues. He is a dangerous, dangerous competitor that can do it absolutely everywhere.
Thanks. Hey, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. If I'm Mix-Ups, I got confidence going to the second round because at the end of that round, you seen Dragon's stamina was blinking at the end of that round.
I think he just tried to get some ground and pound off, and he didn't care about his stamina because of the lateness in the round. But I don't think his stamina is actually that bad yet. I think he's done an okay job. It's just, if you've got him emotional, fighting emotional is a different story though, Cyrus. If you've got him emotional, you might be able to get him to walk into something.
Yeah, exactly right. Maybe you just got him second guessing the game plan that he came in with, right? He came in with obviously trying to get RDA off, off what brings him to, the dance, the boxing, the clean striking that TFA Dragon has favored in his more recent performances. But I think that just awoke the Dragon, excuse the bad pun, as he, kind of decided to really uncork towards the end on the ground and say, look, I'm dangerous down here too. And now you've got to start out this next round back on the feet, trying to trade some hands with the dangerous DeSantos. Yeah,
he looks like Dragon's kind of composed himself. Nice leg kick right there, and that's going to count as a block. Oh, he came in rushing, and that's going to play into Mix-Up's favour. Like, we talk about emotional fighting, he got the leg kick there. If he backed up and, reinsert himself, he would have got away with that one and landed some damage, but instead he walks into the fire J-Dam and takes one to the head.
Oh, that's nice. Nice by John Jones. This is where Mix-Ups want to be right here. Oh, never mind. He wants to be back on the feet. If I was him, I would get some ground control. And I'm not gonna say lay on him, but just control the fight.
Oh, legs!
His legs is done.
He's made him switch. That brick is starting to break, and the
leg kick made the internet go out too.
Yeah, there was shockwaves felt around the arena. Did knock out his cable, but we continue. They are back at it. Those leg kicks, man. He's starting to check them now, starting to read them, but he does eat the uppercut of Doom.
Ooh.
We can kind of see what's happening.
You can kind of see recording this in a microwave, like you said, Cyrus.
Oh,
I think there's been a lot of internet going on in England, especially with a lot of things going down with people's internet recently, especially from my job. I found that out, so I know what's been going on, but it might not be their fault. End of the day, they're still competing, they're still pulling on. Beautiful head kick right there to the straight, Cyrus, and this is anyone's game at the moment.
Damn. Yeah, that leg kick was absolutely massive. He attacks the other one straight away. We see a question mark fainted from Mix-Ups as he answers with a couple of boxing combinations here, Jay, trying to get something going in his favor, and he's doing it. Momentum shifting.
Oh,
if John Jones had at least a 90 power, that may have did something just now, Cyrus.
It might have been, bro. It might have been.
Nice work from Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, he is, you said it right, he composed himself. He composed himself excellently after, a bit of adversity. Does get taken down once again. That's got to be frustrating, although only 35 seconds left on this clock.
He's got to make sure he doesn't get put in any sort of compromising position at the moment and really damaged upon, because he's had a good round where I think he got 3 leg stuns to 1 red head rock. So I don't know how the judges are going to score that, but if they're based not on damage alone, Dragon's got to be pleased with himself. And I feel like he made some technical mistakes, but came back really well. He kind of rushed things a bit, didn't he? And you can tell he got him in his head. Look, yeah, I think that's Dragon's round, but he got in his head a bit. He got a bit in his head, and mix-ups just kind of capitalising that here and there. So it's a kind of a game plan, J-Dime. It kind of worked for mix-ups in his favour to kind of fake love touching, because that first round, we kind of give it to mix-ups. That second round, he's been given a bit of opportunity there as well. And now the third round, it's all to play for.
A smart game plan, to be honest, to get in your opponent's head. That's mental warfare. Because I know if I was in his position, like damn, he fake glove touched me and took me down, and he really got an advantage because of that too. I'd be upset if I was Dragon.
Yeah, even the most composed fighter is gonna be a little bit pissed at something like that, right? Big head kick once again, though, from Crazy Dragon. He feels that he has an advantage on the feet, checks the leg kick, answers back to the compromised left leg of Mix-Ups. I have to say, this is a close bout, but I on the feet, it does just seem like Dos Santos has a bit of an edge. Ooh. But he does miss those kicks. Do you think that's emotion, Humble? Do you think he's still fighting off emotion here?
I think he's really trying to damage his opponents on one part, and either that or trying to set up something big to the head, like as I've seen that lead head kick coming a few times as well, which is Mix-Ups caught him. You can see him ducking it now, and you can see him reacting, and that's what he wants. He wants Mix-Up reacting, being reactive instead of proactive. We talk about it all the time. John Jones has so many tools, but if you can get him reacting to your shots, you can get him guessing himself and kind of moving into shots that you want him to, J-Dime.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I think, I was about to call him Dos Anjos. I was about to say, I think Junior need to keep going to that leg. And Cyrus, you did the same thing a few minutes ago. You called him RDA.
I know, bro.
I thought you got away with it until J-Dime just, just outed him like Scooby-Doo.
Oh, God,
Scooby-Doo.
front kick.
Oh, it's fracking. Oh, my days.
I mean, love it or hate it, it lands, and he continues. I mean, he eats 2 whilst rocked square on the chin, Jay, and just absolutely laughs at his opponent. That's surprising to trust in your chin just that much.
I don't think that he trusts in his chin. I think he don't trust John Jones' hands. That's what I think.
Not respecting the power of S&B Mix-Ups. Got chin checked a little moment ago, but honestly, he's the one that's pushing the action. He may be eating more shots, but walking forward more often than not is TFA the Dragon. Got a minute 30 left to get the job done and try to separate the opponent from their consciousness. Otherwise, the judges may be called once again here this evening.
Yeah, Mix-Up's really playing that patient. He's really trying to outpoint his opponent. This is a game of inches at the moment, and he gets a massive amount of inches lead right there with that takedown, the sweep. The big hip toss that he got into side saddle. And now 58 seconds to try and get back on your feet, do some damage, J-Time. Not a lot of time.
Yeah, but
he's
doing. Wait, you said not a lot of time. He ended the match, right? You said it's not a lot of time. He heard you and said, okay, I'm going to just put this match away.
Not a lot of time was needed. I mean, my God, Johnny Bones Jones getting the job done. Mix-Ups, maybe a bit controversially after that first round. Able to secure an early takedown. Able to get into his opponent's mind. Get an emotional response there, Mr. Humbledink. And ultimately was able to accumulate enough damage to get his opponent out of there.
Yeah, definitely. It's the art of war, right? It's not new. If you've watched any documentaries about any sort of old wars or anything like that, you'll see like people like Genghis Khan used to get people's head. And it's a way to kind of distract your opponent from what they want to do. It's to make them not think about their tactics, but make them emotionally mad. And that's exactly what he did. And maybe that played an effect in that first round. I know it plays an effect in my head when it happens, so Dragon's got to be feeling that and maybe trying to get that back in the future. But it was a good fight, a very technical fight, and to the last minute I was not sure who was going to win that one.
Exactly right, brother.
Great fight, Cyrus. It was an amazing fight until he said he doesn't have much time. And I think Humble jinxed him. That's what Dragon need to look at. Look at Humble.
He may be filing a complaint, looking to get that one overturned, saying that the Juju was on full display. It is captured in 4K. But nevertheless, we move on. We are actually we got an update during that last fight on what we are doing regarding TFA, the Pug, and Golden Kid. So the guys in the back had a little chat between themselves and with the competitors, and they all decided unanimously, here Jay and Mr. Humbledink, that they're going to run it back. So there, we're going to run it back. Full 3 rounds, 15 minutes.
So technically, they're having a 5-round fight, right? Because they've already had 2. So this is the next. This is 1, 2, and 3 of them. This is 3rd, 4th, and 5. And Pug got. If we're going to go back to those sort of first 2 rounds, and we've got some information off that now, Gold comes into this one knowing exactly what Pug's got to do. He's Leon Edwards. He's got to keep it on the feet. Pug has to kind of replicate his previous performance. And taking him down. And Gold's got to stop that. He's got to be on point with his takedowns. He can't let Pug get ahead, J-Time.
I agree with you 100%. But if I'm Leon, I'm like, yes, I get a second chance at life now. You know what I'm saying? I kind of seen what he did. I can learn from that, and I can make this a different fight potentially, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right, brother. Exactly right. But also on the flip side, right? I mentioned it in the first fight. TFA the Pug, he's actually got phenomenal striking as well. We didn't get to see it in the last fight. He actually got caught a couple of times, but just to mix it up, I wouldn't even be surprised if we come out and see him utilize a jab-heavy routine, try to hit him with some crosses, and just try to mix it up on his opponent, because, as you rightly said, he knows what's coming from from Pug, or theoretically so. So maybe mixing that up on him, catching him off guard, would be the best remedy to success here in this second fight.
Yeah, definitely, and I think we've got another potato, but here we go. The orthodox stance, the southpaw stance of Leon Edwards should really help him stop them takedowns. As I say that, just I want to shut up.
And we're back. Hey, it's like I've seen this before. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I've seen this happen, a fight before. Am I tripping, Cyrus?
This is definitely shades of the last fight. However, I have to say, the feeling out process is well and truly gone. Pug now knows that he has an advantage in these areas and is looking to capitalize on that early, raining down ground and pound. But that's going to cause separations just like that. High risk, high reward. But that's what's needed to get the job done in these earlier rounds here, Humble.
Yeah, and he threw 9 shots in him out there and landed 1. So the good work from Golden to kind of stop him from landing a lot of big shots. And you can see the Pug's stamina as well gone down slightly a bit from overexerting himself. And maybe he's going to be quite emotional, as we keep talking about. He feels like he was kind of robbed of a win right there. He'd already gone 2 rounds up. He only needed to last that 3rd round to get it. And now it starts again, and Golden's going to try and stop that. But Pug has picked up exactly where he's left off. 2 takedowns within 2 minutes. And now he finds himself on top in mount again, J-Time.
This deja vu. It's like I just seen him in top mount on Leon Edwards. Am I tripping again, Cyrus?
Now, this is definitely a bit of deja vu, my man. Definitely a bit of deja vu, but you've got to love the trade that's being applied by TFA the Pug right here. He, like I said, he knows he has an advantage in one way, and this time he's not taking his time like he did in the first fight. He's paying his opponent very little respect in these ground positions and absolutely uncorking with ground and pound, already probably succeeding the total amount of significant strikes of the total of the last fight in this opening 3 minutes, or just under.
I mean, I appreciate there was two significant strikes from Pug in the first round, in the first fight of the first round. So this one's gonna completely surpass that, and that's exactly what you want. He's picked up it is the 3rd round. He's done the damage, and now he's trying to get him, and he's back on top. And Leon Edwards needs to stop grappling with Usman at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He was defending well, but he got to find a way to his feet at this point, because Kamaru's gonna continue to do this to Leon for as long as he can.
Yeah, I mean, look, why fix it? Why fix it if it ain't broke, bro? I mean, this is absolutely what TFA the Pug wants. He is just uncorking damage on Leon Edwards, and Leon Edwards gets his best work done on the feet, Humble, so take that away from him, put him on his back, start to rain down and chip away at his all-round defenses, and ultimately the rest will follow.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm Golden at the moment, I'm starting to clinch as well. I'm starting to use that mid-range sort of grappling, because I know that he wants to grapple me, he wants to take me down and stuff, but it's easier to defend some of those them takedowns from the clinch, especially if you're in control of that clinch. And he's got 5-star elbows as well. You've got to utilize them elbows. You've got to make them work. And shoot a takedown of your own if you have to. You got to stop that forward pressure. If someone is coming at you in force, you need to counter that force with force. It doesn't matter exactly how you do it. You just need to do it.
I agree with that. I can't say that better myself, Cyrus.
Yeah, very eloquently put, as always, by the mighty Mr. Humble Dink, as we see another piercing takedown. Absolutely rinsing that takedown over and over again, and honestly, Leon Edwards not having any answer to it. And I have to say, once it hits the mat, it's almost game over. Like, the only time that Golden Kid is having opportunities to get back to his feet is when we're seeing TFA the Pug really push the action to try and get some ground and pound off. Otherwise, it just seems like he is in complete control in these positions here, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's 3-0 to Golden Kid at the moment, even though we've had one in the first round. You know, we've had that fight restarted, and those first 2 rounds looked exactly same to this. And Golden Kid's not had any major offense off yet where he can kind of, any confidence from it, anything like that, because the Pug's not giving him a chance. He's not giving him any time to kind of land his own strikes, and he's been a bit obvious with his transitions as where's Pug's getting off really well, Jordan.
Yeah, you said that right, and I think Leon's about to start to get impatient because, let's be real, every round they've played, he's been stuck right here, and with no offense.
Yeah, like he quite literally has not been able to answer back with absolutely anything at this stage, and it's got to be frustrating for him. He does get back to the feet with 2 minutes 45, Humble, and this is where he wants to be. What would you like to see from him in these positions, other than, of course, shutting down that takedown?
I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him back up a bit. I'd like to see him stop chasing after his opponent and walking into takedowns. You got to set up his shot. He's got to set up his shot. And he walks into a big right hand right there as well.
That was absolute perfection. That was perfection. I mean, training with Trey Whitman obviously paying off, right?
Definitely.
100%. Hey, and that was impatient by Leon because he wanted to force the action because he's been on the ground the whole time. So he was rushing to get something done, Humble.
He's rushing the entire fight so far, and he needs to set traps. He's not setting traps at the moment, and there's a trap right there. The vulnerability was high for Usman, and that's the first real opportunity that Golden Kid's had to kind of do some damage. He doesn't quite get it.
Oh!
He goes for the guillotine. Very interesting, beautiful work right there.
Can he get it? Can he get the counters there? It's there. Why is he not taking the counter? Take the counter. What is going on? Where's the counter?
He's gonna escape.
Yeah, but he gets to side control with the counter with the Von Flue choke. So I'm not quite sure why he's not.
Yeah, I don't know why. He just like, I think he was a Stevie Wonder to the counter just now.
Stevie Wonder to the counter. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Maybe both of these guys were closing their eyes as that kind of opportunity arrives. But he's back in man position. He's in a dominant position, and the Pug is gonna stop the obvious to get up. From there, 26 seconds left to work. He's going to have a chance to rain down from the heavens above with Kamaru Usman's fist, and Golden Kid does a good job of avoiding the damage right there, Cyrus.
Yeah, I mean, look, to describe this fight, if you were to say for Golden Kid, his fight has just been really not a fight, it's been survival. He's been surviving these moments. He's not really had too many glimpses of being able to answer back with something. And, I'm not trying to shit on the kid or anything too greatly. I'm just really accentuating the fact that TFA the Pug has looked as dialed in here this evening as he ever has been. In a pretty dominant, visible spot on the card, not taking any prisoners at all, Jay. Just absolutely disarming his opponent and trying to show that he is levels above.
Yeah, this has been dominant thus far. And now Leon may have to do something because he spent most of this round, not even this round, most of both fights on the ground. And now I'm questioning if we should even restart this fight.
I think that's the thing Pug's doing. Pug's making him question, why did you make me start this fight against you? I'm going to make it life hell for you right now. And just in case anyone's wondering as well, as Pug starts to run down, I do believe it is the back 2 triggers, and I believe it's one of the front triggers as well from either side to either reverse your opponent or submit them if you want to try that one out. Beautiful work right there though from the Pug as he starts to pepper his opponent again, Cyrus.
Yeah, I believe it's LB submission, RB reversal, but I think that they may have changed that. I can't be 100% sure, brother, but they are now, honestly, this is much of what we have seen. The defense holding up for Golden Kid. He's able to mitigate some of the damage, but look, he is glued to this spot here, Jay, and the offense is going to continue. I mean, Usman isn't going to get tired. TFA the Pug isn't going to get, bored of punching you in the face. So this looks like this may be a difficult 3 minutes, as it has been for the last, 20 for Golden Kid.
I'm not going to lie. some of these rounds can be a 10-8 because he's been there on the mat the whole time with no success in any avenue, Humble.
Yeah, it's really interesting because obviously Golden Kid had such a good performance. I believe it was last night when he stepped up on short notice, and obviously Hug knew so, but we didn't, and he's neutralized him so well in this fight. He's done a fantastic job of stopping him from having any sort of offense. I can't remember a time when he was in trouble, apart from when he overexerted. A big kick there to the face. Needs to do more of that. And a nice elbow right there as they pause.
The elbow done froze the screen. That's how hard the elbow was.
Yeah, he literally, every single time he lands a big strike, it freezes the connection right there. I don't know what's happening. But goes for the knee. Runs into the straight, and this could be it.
Edwards is a survivor, brother. He's a survivor, but my God, is he having all sorts of problems. Once again, back on the feet, Jay. He only has 1:25 left on the clock to get the job done. He needs to go for broke. He is not winning the decision on any planet.
Yeah, he needs to do something. And denying that takedown was the best thing he did.
Nice.
Ooh.
A bit more like it, right, Humble? A bit more like it, brother.
Yeah, he's running again, though. He's running into shots, and he has to now. He's got no choice. So it's really up to Pug to kind of not get caught with something. He's kind of struggling. That's what you got to do. You got to be cheesy. Like, you got to mix it up. Beautiful work as Edge comes back into the arena.
30 seconds of crucifix seem to be potentially on the card. He does manage to get into side saddle, but it's kind of out the fire. I don't know, man. That's just bad. It's not looking good for him. He's probably going to survive this fight, which is a moral victory in and of itself there, Jay, but he definitely needs to go back to the drawing board, work with some of the guys in the back, and try to make sure that this doesn't happen to him again, because TFA the Pug is dangerous everywhere, but he was proving a point here this evening, and
he said thanks.
Yeah, like he's feeling mean with it, brother. I think his last fight, correct me if I'm wrong, I'll see if the guys in the back room, maybe you guys know, was Pug's last fight up against Trixie? Was that the last fight he had?
Oh, I'd have to double check those sort of statistics, sorry, so I'll have a quick look, but he did a great job in there to kind of stop any sort of offense, and credit to Golden, he never gave up. He never gave up in that entire time he was put on his back. He never gave up. And his last fight was against Issues, so he won his last fight against Issues. So great win for him. And I'm not sure if he's actually fought. I know he did fight Toasty Toes as well. I think he lost to Toasty Toes if I'm correct. But yeah, Pug's one of them guys. He brings it every single time, and he brought it tonight. And he had a dominant performance. Really good, strict game plan right there. And that's where you need to beat these high level guys, especially such caliber on the feet as Gold.
Yeah, it's all about finding that happy middle, right? You've got to be it's got to have an entertaining style. It's always going to pay favors towards the way that you progress within these communities, but of course on the same side, these wins are absolutely vital. Pug knows when to mix it up. He knows when to show those hands. He knows when to take it down. Of course, quite clearly respecting Golden Kid on the feet here this evening. Did not want to give him an opportunity to get into this fight even one way, so went to a game plan that he knew worked, and executed that game plan absolutely beautifully. We did run that one back, and it set us up pretty nicely for the co-main event of this evening. J Dime, Mr. Humbledink, we have a card on the PlayStation division for the ages. Leon Stolz up against Ripe MMA. Set us up for this one, my man.
Yeah, definitely. Before I do, I just want to give a massive shout out to the Pug, who's literally just donated 5 subscriptions to the channel. Every little helps. Absolutely amazing. But as we move on to this co-main event, we've talked about it all night. I don't know what else we can talk about on this thingy, but we've got Ripe versus Leon Stoltz, and Ripe's last performance, he beat Storm. Storm had a great win over Stoyan. He fought me as well, and Ripe took that away from him with a KO in the 3rd round. I know J Dime's going to say everyone's fought you, Humble, but
I'm going to congratulate you because it was a great performance you had against Storm, Humble. Yeah, I was going to congratulate you.
It was. And then Leon Stoltz beating Tadpole, a fantastic win over Tadpole. He got a finish over there. And Leon Stoltz is flawless in his run so far. Both of these guys are 4-0. Both of these guys have got attributes, J Diamond, which credit their skill set. And it's going to be an interesting matchup to see how these two clash together. Someone's has got to go.
Yes, sir. And now it's time. TJ Dillashaw versus Corey Sandhagen, the rematch in what was a close fight that I thought Corey won, but it was a close fight. So it's not a robbery, Cyrus, but this should be a good rematch.
Yeah, exactly right, man. I think that there's so many levels to this fight, and reasons that it's interesting. The fighter picks between TJ Dillashaw and Sandhagen, of course, they mix up and match up. Very, 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 very interesting in terms of a stylistic standpoint. Of course, undefeated prospects are a rarity in such a closely contested kind of landscape within the esporting community. As you said, a lot of people got a lot of wins, but very, very difficult to not pick up a loss along the way there, Mr. Humble. And these guys have been able to do that up until this point. There are no draws in UFC 4, so as you said, somebody's always got to go, and they touch them up to find out who's going to walk away one step closer to that gold here this evening.
Yeah, definitely. You got a couple of seconds to get your best on as well if you need to, but great movement from Leon Stoltz and TJ Dillashaw, and you're going to have the same thing, but a bit more reach from Ripe MMA. I like the pick of Corey Sandhagen. He's just got to be careful of the combination strikes from Leon, because Leon is a really good combination striker, J-Dime.
Yeah, and Leon has a patience to him too. He throws strikes, but I like the pace he fights at, Cyrus.
Yeah, he has a methodical chaos that he likes to bring to the table, likes to get in his opponent's face and force them to make mistakes. A lot of the time, his pressure or his offensive pressure is not just purely because he's throwing shots in your face. He does a lot of it just simply with pressure, Humble. He stands there, lets you kind of make reads and sees how you're going to deal with just him being in your face and just kind of, making it uncomfortable in there.
Yeah, we call it false pressure. You know, he gets in his opponent's face, and then when his opponent goes to throw, he creates that space behind him to kind of leave a gap to so his opponent's thrown into space, so he can kind of predict it. It's a really good move. You see a lot of top guys kind of use it, including Suave, Jamie, Blake, Tyler. A lot of these guys kind of use that sort of combination. In real life as well, it's known for boxing. But beautiful work with the teeps right there, which will kill that false pressure from right there. Good work.
Talking about crushing that pressure, that uppercut did just that right there, Humble. And now he's trying to capitalize on it, not getting overzealous, in and out, and just trying to get one step closer to that victory. Doing an excellent job so far is TJ Dillashaw, one of your favorites out here. J-Dime.
Yes.
My favorite bantamweight to use, exactly. And do you see TJ footwork? It looked like he's skating right now. Like he's in and out, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, that shot he landed was an absolute peach. I love the rhythm that he's mixing up at the moment, because it's not the same. It's really hard to pay attention to because of the in-and-out movement, and that's exactly how Ripe MMA feels at the moment. He's trying to catch the rhythm of his opponent, and he can't. Every time he thinks it's going to be a 1-2, it's a 1-2-3. Every time he thinks it's a 1-2-3, it's a 1. And that's exactly what Leon Stoltz is doing. He's painting many different pitches, and it's hard to keep an eye on which one he's using. And Sandhagen needs to get an eye on that right as soon as possible, otherwise he's going to be running away from him going forward, Cyrus.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of mesmerizing at the moment. Pure artistry on display. He is not only changing rhythm in terms of the way that he's using his footwork, but the strikes are coming out in different paces, showing different looks, or the same looks with different outcomes. Honestly, it's an absolutely beautiful kind of array of strikes, scattergunning those techniques across the octagon. But Ripe MMA seems to be a little bit confused about what's going ahead of him here, J-Dime, but doesn't seem to be getting frustrated, and that's the important thing. Staying kind of alert to what's in front of you, trying to make those reads are going to put him in the best possible position to come back into this fight.
Yeah, Corey Sandhagen still looks really calm right now, even though he did lose that round. But what adjustments do you think he need to make in the second round, Humble?
He's made them already. At the end of that round there, you've seen it. He's starting to pieces. He's starting to land the... He slowed the fight down astronomically at the end of that round, and he started to land 4 or 5 shots to the body in that last minute, but he was taking his time with it. He knows that the opportunity is going to arise. If his opponent keeps throwing 4 pieces and 3 pieces over and over again, he's going to be able to hurt that body. He's just going to have to pick up the pace early in the second round and stop TJ from going. Oh, I will shut my mouth.
The up kick of doom just keeps him in there, Jay. I mean, fuck, man, this pressure, what TJ Dillashaw is able to do here this evening has been short of perfection. Oh, nothing short of perfection.
But I like the pace Ripe is fighting at, but he's getting caught right now. Like, he has the right idea, though, Humble.
Yeah, I think he's going a bit too quickly at the start of the round there. Even though I said he's got to pick the pace up slightly, he was kind of walking into a shot here and there. Whereas at the end of that round, he really looked in control of what he was doing. And I think it's positioning at the moment. Look where Leon Stoltz is. He's got to be on that black line, pressed against the fence, cutting off the cage, and he can't move.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he can't. Oh my. I'm not gonna lie. TJ looks really good. Y'all may want to check his piss. He may be on EPO right now too.
And I just want to point out, Cyrus, the range.
Yeah.
When they're at that kicking range, Ripe looks comfortable. He looks like he's picking his opponent's body apart. But when they're in that boxing range, he really struggles. He's really struggling with the combination striking.
Yeah, and it's honestly, I purely believe it's because of the shot selection and defensive awareness of Leon Stoltz. He is doing an excellent job of just making every read that is possibly available. Honestly, man, it's about as close to perfection as you can get in terms of the way that he has approached this fight, the way he's executing it. It has been, like I said, it's just been beautiful to watch. And Ripe MMA is not out of this fight. Mark my words, still in a good position, but just potentially a little bit compromised at this stage here, Jay.
Yeah, he's still a live dog in this fight, but he is getting pieced up when they're in boxing range pretty badly,
nice.
Humble.
That's what he needs right there.
Ooh.
Yeah, the teeps, the jabs, the straights to the body are going to kind of pick away and chip away, but the switch kicks, the big shots like that is what you need, but you leave yourself vulnerable, and that's why he was avoiding doing that. And look at Leon Stoltz picks up on that in an instant and catches his opponent kicking in boxing range. Beautiful work. He catches him
nice,
He's catching him now, though, J-Time.
Yeah, that's what I wanted him to do before. When someone's fighting you at that pace, throw them body kicks, throw them teeps. That's what he should have been doing, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right. I think that obviously he was a little bit put off with the way that Leon was crushing that distance, but as the fight is going on, he's having a little bit more success with it. The flying knee almost landing. Oh my God.
EPO protecting him.
Well, I can
5-star knee right there.
I can tell you what, the supporters at home definitely appreciating this fight. TFA the Pug appreciating it in particular. Another 5 subs to the community from this guy, showing out a lot of hype going into this event. The co-main event living up to all expectations, Humble. And I mean, it's a beauty to watch. It's a beauty to watch.
Now, I genuinely wish this was 5 rounds. This was such a nice fight. Like the way I can tell that Ripe's kind of overexerted himself because he knows it's a 3-round fight as well. It'd be a kind of a different fight at 5 rounds, and there's things that he's doing that are he's doing really well. It's just Leon's that good. Leon knows his moments. He knows where to strike, and he started to get off. He's been trying to land them kicks to the body, and I mean the roundhouse kicks, J-Dime, not just the teeps. They're kind of prodding and poking shots. They will take your gas tank away from you. But the damage comes from them big body kicks, and it sets up the head kicks and the knees to the face as well, which is now what he's starting to do with that stamina advantage.
This is what I would do if I was him. I would switch to orthodox from Corey Sandhagen. I would start my combos with a lead body kick.
Right, starting off strongly.
Yeah, and it's because he's becoming a little bit more creative with it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I can tell he's a 5-round fighter, though. I can tell.
That's it, bro. Oh, no.
He takes back.
And he has stamina.
He's not going to have the option for the choke, though. He's going to have the option for the armbar, and that's going to kind of block that quite easily. Only problem with obviously us banning that move is obviously it limits your options. But at the same time, Leon Stoltz has been fantastic. He's got to watch his stamina because Ripe MMA is no joke. You know, he takes one to come back in this fight, Cyrus.
It really does. It really, really does. Moments notice, this entire fight can kind of completely spin on its head. They do find themselves back on the feet, and honestly I feel like this, as mad as it may sound, maybe his best opportunity to success. I mean, he's had a lot of adversity in this fight, but was having glimmers of hope.
Nice.
Just like that there, Humble, just like that. This is what he needs.
He's got really good body work. Like, he's got such fantastic body work that Leon Stoltz has never kind of, even though he's had a dominant performance, he's still thinking, I know you can catch me here, and you can tell beautiful work. Gotta be careful.
He just has him so compromised, Jay, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does,
Yeah. But them body shots, like, if they play again, I know Ripe will be making, I know the adjustments he'll be making, Humble.
Oh, these two, I'd love to spar these two. These two are fantastic competitors. I love the mind games that these two are playing. It's like watching Robert Whittaker versus Darren Till all over again, apart from a few more knockdowns in there. Just body versus head or stamina as well. And Ripe's really trying to go there, Cyrus, really trying to make something happen.
My God,
he does.
This would be something.
That's got to be it. He folded him, brother. He folded him.
Yeah, this is
no stamina, though. No stamina.
No, that's not it. He don't got stamina.
Wait, a submission might be on the cards. Genuinely might be on the cards.
Wait, this may be on the cards.
No sort of pre-handle. Like, he hasn't really got a hand for that sort of his defense, and that usually helps you out if you've already had like a go at it and you kind of know how they move, and that's what's going to cost him right here. He does have an arm in though. He's going to get the counter. I believe it's going to be... No, he doesn't. My bad. 30 seconds left on the card. What a fantastic... I wish it's just 5 rounds, Cyrus.
Yeah. It's these guys will definitely meet down the line, I am sure, whichever way this goes. Clearly, they have... Oh, my God! I mean, you can see why these guys were undefeated, fighting to the very, very end. This one went the full 15 minutes here, J-Dime, but my God, I wish, as you guys said, there was another 15 to go, to be honest with you. At least another 10. I mean, that was a standout fight. Standout fight here this evening. Technique, skill, heart, all put on the line.
Yeah, it was.
Great fight.
Great fight, Jay Diamond. You know, it was a race, right? It was a race, because even though the damage was coming thick and fast, you could see that body health dwindling for TJ Dillashaw's stamina. And it was, can you get me out of there before I compromise you? And you know when your body's hurt, you've got no stamina left, you're more susceptible to big shots as well. So it was a real battle of wit between both guys. Fantastic fight, Jay Dime.
Yeah, and if I'm right, even though I lost my O, I wouldn't be mad.
No.
Because you had success with the body shots. There's a lot you can build from, and then I think he'll be back next week stronger than ever, Cyrus.
Yeah, and I mean, look, ultimately, he may have got a loss on his record, but his support within the community is only going to grow after performances like that. Genuinely, hearts of lions, both of these guys, putting it all on the line. Leon Stoltz coming out the gates so hot in this fight, and Ripe MMA showing so much composure, so much ability to adapt over the course of those fights, that it was actually towards the later ends of the rounds, or the fight, that he was really starting to come together. So I look forward to when these guys are, finally kind of matching up against each other in the future, and hopefully it's in a main event spot, because that was a truly fantastic card. But truly fantastic fight, I should say, and card as a whole, of course, there, Mr. Hummeldink. But saying fantastic fights, we cannot go wrong with talking about the main event of this evening. It is going to be the very, very mighty, the legendary BFAP Trixie, former champion, looking to make another run against an old foe in FSK Fadnator. This evening he has to go against another veteran of the scene, the short notice fight taker, the Donald Cerrone of higher skill level abilities, if you will. The KM caliber out here looks to put it all together, get himself back on top, and take that gold for himself.
Yeah, definitely. And these both have had a shot at the title. Trixie, we have to talk about the story between him and Fadnator to really get an aspect of what this means. Trixie and Fadnator have fought nearly 14, 13 times or something stupid in prime time, and Trixie's nearly won every single one. The one he didn't win was this season, and Fadnator's been building up to this forever. He just kept going at him. And when he gets that win, Fadnator, he's kind of cleared out the division. I think he's like Kamaru Usman. He's fought everyone. He's starting to lap people. And whoever he wins this fight, he's going to put himself in a great position to rally for a championship, depending if they sign up. And Trixie wants that fight, and Caliber's going to be in his way to stop him today. Both of these guys are biting the bit to go. This is a fantastic main event we have for you this evening, Jay Dime. I cannot wait for this one.
Yeah, and so you're telling me that the last time Fadnator lost was to Trixie. So I feel like that woke up a monster, because Fadnator haven't lost since. And then Trixie, he got to be, he got to be confident going in this one, because he beat the champion a million times. So, but he got to not overlook Caliber, though.
Yeah, that's a key.
Yeah.
That's a key.
No, you're exactly right. It is the key. It is going to be the absolute path to success. I mean, a note from the back is that actually talking about, Trixie and Fadnator being old foes. Of course, Trixie, since dropping Primetime Gold and losing, on that little skid, refocused, has been able to acquire the ESFL Gold in the time. So reigning ESFL champion is Trixie, looking to get back to that Primetime Gold. They are actually matching up tomorrow, from what I hear, on ESFL. So make sure to tune into that. Another epic war that's going to be going ahead. But here this evening, Swift Trixie now is going to be focused. He's been training for Caliber. He's been training for Fadnator, two of the most high-level competition he is going to face on this kind of division, the Xbox side of things there, Mr. Humbeldink. And that's going to mean that he's going to be very focused, and I think he needs to be up against such high-level opposition.
And I might eat my words on this one, but I really don't like the pick Caliber in Beneil Dariush. We have seen a good Beneil Dariush earlier on, but the meta pick, if you're going to talk about meta players, Trixie's such a meta character, a meta player, that he doesn't really do a lot wrong, and you're going to have to force him to. And Beneil Dariush is going to have a few stats that you're not going to quite have it for your Poirier. You know, your Poirier can have a bit of an advantage here, Jedi.
Yeah, Dustin's health stats are really good. That's what separates him in featherweight to lightweight, Cyrus.
Yeah, it is, because he's not dehydrated at this weight class. He's absolutely in physical prime, or in his physical prime, absolutely raring to go each and every time. I have to say though, I am impressed with the way that Caliber started this fight. He made it dirty instantly, you humble, mixing in a double clinch attempt, getting a couple of shots in. Seems to have kind of pissed off the former champion and has got Trixie going a little bit more active in this first round than we historically have seen from him.
Yeah, definitely. And Dirty Dave reminded us in the chat that Caliber's favorite fighter is Dariush, but I'm starting to see the damage starting to come from Trixie. Trixie's starting to really accumulate that. You can see the head health going, you can see the leg health kind of going as well. And, you know, Caliber's really going to have to stop that from happening, because Trixie will pick you apart bit by bit, inch by inch, until it becomes a problem and you start getting dropped and hurt, J-Dime.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie to you. This Dariush pick concerns me a little bit, because Dariush don't have the best health stats, and you're going against the meta Dustin Poirier, Cyrus.
Exactly right, man. Exactly right. Not only are you fighting one of the best competitors on the scene, period, you are doing so with one of the toughest picks in the weight class. And right now, Caliber has all of the odds stacked against him, and he is rising to the occasion, looking very game in this fight. Although, as I love to say, he has to mind his P's and Q's here. Mr. Humbledink cannot allow Swift Trixie to get all of those swift tricks off in this fight.
Yeah, you say rising to the occasion. I'm thinking he's battling for the occasion at the moment, as Caliber really tries to, like, take every inch away from them. Oh, nice leg kick there. Yeah. It really hurts his leg. He was on one leg right there. Surprisingly got the drop, but so was Trixie. Trixie was also off balance as he threw that kick. And Trixie's just really going to work right now. The damage is what I'm looking at. The damage is really what's affecting him. Takes away the power as well from Dariush that he's going to lose, and he doesn't have a lot. Catches his foot, goes to the spinning elbow, back against the fence, positioning, J-Dime, positioning.
Yeah. Oh, Dustin's trying to rip his leg off, Humble.
Yeah, he really is. And one thing, Cyrus, that I've noticed about Trixie, and same with Fadinator and a lot of these guys, I'm looking at the combinations they're throwing. There's nothing really fancy about the combinations. It's basic, but they throw it at the right time, you know.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. You're right, brother, right? It's the KISS principle. It sounds a bit silly, but it's keep it simple, stupid. Because if you're not keeping it simple, you're a little stupid. Doing all that flashy shit, it looks good. And when you land it, it makes for entertaining highlight reels. But not every single finish that you see is, a tornado kick or a 720, like, whatever it is. A lot of the time it's all set up by the most fundamental parts of mixed martial arts that are your bread and butter. And that's what the greatest do. At the top level, so very well here, J-Dime, is they keep the fundamentals very, very tight and cause their problems via complete and utter intelligence, offensive pressure, and defensive soundness.
Yeah, all the greats do one thing well, and that's the basics. The fundamentals is everything. Before you throw all that fancy shit and all that, you got to have the fundamentals down to a T, because that's what's going to win you the games in the long run, Humble.
Yeah, it definitely is. The basics is what holds everything together. Without the basics, you're screwed. And Trixie does that so well. He really keeps his defense intact as well with doing the basics, and that's kind of the key. Beautiful push kick down the middle right there. Nice timing. And Dariush is really struggling with Caliber, and something we never actually mentioned. I just completely forgot about it. It's left my brain. Caliber beat Trixie. Caliber's one of the people that handed Trixie a loss earlier in the season. So this Caliber's no stranger to actually handing Trixie a loss. It's just at the moment Trixie hasn't stepped a foot wrong, and Caliber's struggling to kind of keep it together.
Yeah, and look, honestly, this is the thing. Trixie, after he went on that skid, has come back. He is right the wrong against mix-ups that we saw fight a second ago, and he is now trying to right the wrong against... Caliber, but he gets caught!
Oh, your head!
What is going on? What am I seeing?
Oh, it is. Trixie needs to get back on his bike and just stick back to his fundamentals, because he's been doing such a great job. Giving him a little bit of hope right there as Dariush comes forward, trying to land the same sort of combination that could end the fight, J-Dime.
Yeah, this something's telling me this fight is gonna get a lot better really soon, Cyrus.
Oh, this is it.
Look, Trixie, historically, second round is his best one. He has most of his finishes in this round. Caliban knows that, is trying to survive every second he can, take this fight into the later stages, but that's going to be a tough one as well. I mean, that right leg is obliterated, Mr. Humbledink. I'm surprised he's able to stand up at this stage in the fight.
He did a good job of not going into the guard of a great jiu-jitsu practitioner right there as well. And he started chopping the left leg after he's already obliterated the right leg. There's lacerations on it. Every single place, it's ballooned open. You can see that from a mile off. And he's got to be wary because the twig's about to break, J-Dime.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, his leg is about to give out. I'm not going to lie to you. Before his head give out, his legs may take him out before that, Cyrus.
Yes, they very much may do, brother, and he continues to attack it. This is Primetime 55, Mr. Humbledink. This has been an incredible night of fights, and my God, is Swift Trixie, BFAP's very own, rising to the occasion here this evening, looking to get himself one step closer to that goal, and doing so in absolute goddamn style, my man.
Yeah, he is. He's got to be careful not getting countered because Caliber is starting to read. Got Fadnet on my brain now. Starting to read some of the move sets of Trixie, but it might be a little too late as Trixie comes forward. And what a great round for him in that round. Did have a little momental stumble with a rock right there that we all kind of put our hands over our mouths. But so far so good for Trixie as he tries to get his way back to that title picture. J-Dime.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. It looks like Trixie is on a mission right now. Like he's on a revenge tour for everyone who whooped his ass before, and he wants to get that belt. He wants his rematch with Fadinator.
Oh, nice work. He gets it down. Good health. Good. I didn't even think about this, but stamina's really good for Caliber at the moment. Even though with the health stats, if you can keep Trixie on the ground and do some good ground and pound, maybe you can start neutralizing some of that damage and cause problems, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, Caliber has some of his best work done on the mat in some of his past performances, but it is going to be very, very tough against somebody like Swift Trixie. We saw in some of his past performances that he is more than, kind of talented on the ground, but this submission, Caliber has a few on his record. He's one of the only holders of I think it was a knee bar in Primetime history. There was a couple of submissions that never happened. He took that as a personal challenge and was able to secure them. So do not sleep on this man's submissions, even if it is against the mighty Swift Trixie.
Right, gain some information right there as well, and it's a risk-free move to go for the arm triangle. You don't really give up position apart from guard when you do that, and if you do get to the next couple of stages, you can get to side control, which he's got now. Beautiful work from Dariush so far, and we've got to remember that Poirier, Swift Trixie might have won those first 2 rounds, but there's still 3 more rounds to go, and if Caliber can kind of repeat this in the next 2.5 minutes, it's going to be difficult for Trixie to get ahead in this one. He might have kind of closed that gap right there with a bit of work on the ground as well, J-Dime.
Yeah, them body shots. People think they don't do much, but them body shots and sprawl does a lot to you, Humble.
It doesn't do permanent body damage. That's the problem.
And this is
he drops him.
And when it gets back to the feet, Swift Trixie is on another level. He hasn't compromised that right leg, non-existent. Chops away at it, even on the mat. This is over. I mean, that leg is going to crumble. I'm surprised that the towel has not been thrown in. He does switch stance for a moment here, Jay, but god damn, he is in a world of pain and just about surviving, trying to do all he can to muster something in return.
You know why they didn't throw in the towel? Because this fight isn't over yet. He still has a chance right now, Cyrus.
I mean, look, everybody has a puncher's chance, Humble, but goddamn, this is getting brutal. This is savage, bro.
Yeah, Trixie's still got to remember though, he's against a top level competitor, and as much as he's doing the basics really well again, you know, he's getting back to the, I call it resetting. He's getting back to resetting and just going back to the game plan every time. That's exactly what I was talking about. You know, you've got to be careful of overexerting yourself and getting caught in a big shot. Nice work again. Caliber gets denied this time, and Trixie's going to pick his shots right now. Caliber's got to be careful. Great work, J-Dime. These two are putting on good. They're still not over with the amount of damage we've had. I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's not over, surprisingly. And Dustin Poirier looked like a prime Jose Aldo right now. That's what it looks like. It looks like he's kicking Uriah Faber leg off. That's what it looks like to me, Cyrus.
Yeah, I mean, look, both legs, bro. both legs. He does not have knees to stand on right at this moment, but he is continuing to drag his body across the octagon to try and land some shots, and actually having a little bit of success, but honestly, I don't know if he's able to muster the offense required to get a victory here this evening. Swift Trixie front kicks him square in the face here, Humble.
Yeah, he's starting to get reactions as well out of him, and he's gone for the over-under right there. Goes for the inside trip, gets out denied. Beautiful wrist control into the into a plum there, and he pushed him back with the control of that arm. Beautiful work.
Ooh, God damn, that was a nice shot. Just the timing of it, the defense holding up. He is in full flow state right now,
nice.
but does get tripped.
Oh, beautiful work from both guys
nice.
right there. Nice sequence we've seen right there, J-Dime.
That was beautiful. And I'm not gonna lie, Benel, he got backstabbing too. I was about to say Benel needs more than this to have a chance in this fight right now.
Trixie not even trying to like control his opponent. He's just wanting damage at the moment.
Ooh.
Hopefully, he's trying to get his opponent out there, and it looks like it's nearly done. It looks like it's about to be over, but he's got to be careful he doesn't get caught sleeping on Caliber.
But Caliber gotta make sure his leg don't break, because his leg be getting torn up.
Got no base whatsoever
my
anymore.
God.
Oh,
This looks like it's it.
yeah, it's over.
And Herb Dean jumps in and pushes him off. Says no more. It is over. And Trixie gets the win in the 4th round. What a fantastic performance from Trixie. Veteran, savvy performance, Cyrus. And you've got to be thinking now, who's going to stop him from getting that title shot against his rival in Fadinetta? And obviously tomorrow night at the ESFL in that main event, that's going to be an interesting one. Eyeballs on that one tomorrow to see the future of Primetime as well, to see how this one's going.
Yeah, I mean, look, he is obviously primed and dialed in, so make sure to check out ESFL tomorrow evening, and obviously watch two absolute legends in Primetime and the esporting community as a whole throw down, but he gets the goddamn thing done again here this evening in absolute style. I know that the fans have always loved Swift Trixie. He has such an entertaining style, it's hard not to love the way that he approaches the game. Caliber is obviously as game as ever, but came into this fight and just had all sorts of problems. With that all being said, Mr. Humbledink, J-Dime TV, this has been a fantastic night of fights. A couple of issues along the way, but we got there in the end and had some absolutely legendary fights to call along the way. It has been a pleasure calling these fights with yourselves there, my guys. Have you got anything to say before we call an end to this one?
No, do join us if you do want to compete in Primetime as well. We would have put a link in the chat. Everybody gets a fight, even if it's unaired. Do join us, because our ever-growing rosters are getting better and better, as you've seen. Next Friday, Saturday, we will have events on again. But enjoy the UFC tonight, and thank you from all our team at Primetime.
With that all being said, guys, we will see you in the next one. Thank you for the subs, the follows, all the support in the chat, as always. As Mr. Humbledink said, enjoy the fights here this evening. We will be pushing a raid forward in the community, so please do join that up. It genuinely can make somebody's night, and obviously show that love. The primetime kind of love goes a long, long way within the UFC 4 scene. Much love, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.